Hello. I am getting everything set up. YouTube's still having massive errors, so I tried to upload all my software, and none of it worked, so bear with me. A lot of weird stuff happening today. We have houses burning down. We have, hello, how are you doing, Jake? What's up, buddy? We have houses burning down right now of Democrat politicians. We have war threats. We have riots in the streets. We have leftists getting dragged on their face on the asphalt. We have all kinds of crazy stuff going on. A little bit ago, this guy. Okay, we're going to listen to Tim Pool explain this instead of Fox News or any of those guys, okay? So we're going to give him some credit on this one right here. Yeah, I'm alive. I know you haven't seen me around. I'm still out here. I've had quite a few attempts on my life since the Charlie Kirk assassination, so I've been laying a little lower than usual, but I still go to all the rallies. I was just at the Antifa rally last Saturday, and I got the truck mostly fixed. So all I got to do is put some shocks on it, and then I'm going to be driving around Florida doing all this again. But let's hear what this Democrat politician had to say
about the need for his children to be murdered, so that way his agenda would unlock wins. Because we drive. This guy said that we need to die. Matt Walsh has an interesting comment about this. What it means. I'll read that in a second. This guy said.
Okay, so Dem AG nominee Jay Jones fantasized about shooting former Virginia GOP speaker, said he would receive both bullets. And then on the hills of, right after this was going on, Democrats' house is getting burnt down. And they're already saying that it was set ablaze by a Republican. Of course they are. But they have no evidence of anything. So we have reporters all over the place already saying it was set on fire. We don't know that. They're saying that this is going to be right-wing extremism. We don't know that. I'm not even going to say that this was a leftist because, I mean, they could have been cooking some food. But they did have to jump off their balconies to get the fuck out of there. And their family was in there. I don't know. You have to ask a girl. Can you tell me what a woman is? And as we know, right now, they're still doing all of these protests everywhere. But if you notice, they have gotten quite cowardice about it. They kind of just back down now because they can be held accountable, just like we thought they would. Give me some magic mushrooms. So, federal judges ordered police not to carry the SIG P320, by the way. So SIG is getting taken off the market all over the place because of the issues they're having. We got 1,100 more people arrested last night between Chicago and Portland. What are you doing back there, silly? You still eating your Chewies? That's Princess Kiara in the background. So I don't know if y'all are going to be watching Trump's speech tonight, but we will be going live and covering that tonight and see what they have to say, because some pretty large things have happened today and last night at like 2-3 in the morning with these other countries. There's been quite a few incursions into like Pakistan and India, full-time at war pretty much right now. Yeah, pretty much. The funny thing is they bitch about us talking on here, but they're the ones coming on getting in my DMs every single time I go live. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm sure in a little bit here, Paul will be on, and whoever tries to beat out his high score for the leaderboard today. Memberships is going through right now, by the way, and so is branding. So we will have brand advertisers coming in soon. My president is Donald J. Trump. If you're new, I'll give you a tour of the truck really fast. And then we'll get into some of these videos. If you don't know who I am, now you do. You know. And yes, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These are bolted to the truck. Somebody just broke that one off a few days ago. I got to get another one. Kara, what are you doing, man? You got to come out here. Okay, come on. Jump in my arm. Ugh. Go do your thing. So, let's see who's talking right now. Earlier, everybody was talking. Everybody was live a couple minutes ago when I tried to go live. Oh, 255 sex traffickers in my hometown just got busted.
The Sheriff's Office, along with other agencies, carried out another operation targeting human traffickers and sex predators, which led to hundreds of arrests.
Hundreds of mugs behind the walls at the Polk County Sheriff's Office Friday morning. Sheriff Grady Judd says 230 were human trafficking arrests, and 16 arrested are child sexual predators.
We arrested 16 travelers. That's right. They were sexual deviants.
What happens when America's toughest sheriff teams up with ICE?
I hate when they do that.
Traffickers. 255 arrests in 9 days.
So, that's my hometown. That man has babysat me, that sheriff that was just talking there, when I was a little bitty baby, little bitty boy. My mom went to school with Grady Judd. I grew up on Kathleen Road in Polk County, Florida. But I digress. So I hope you're all blessed out here. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Hey, YouTube, get your shit together, man. That's 3 days in a row that your RTPM server has been down. We got to get on here and get live with the computers, man. Sorry about that, guys. I can't help YouTube's malfunction. So I think what it is we've been living in this dead internet phase for the past 4 years because of the Biden administration. And now they're kicking all the bots off the fucking internet. And all of a sudden, after Charlie Kirk's assassination, an influx of hundreds of millions of people started going back on YouTube. And I think it's just fucking their servers up. They're not used to it anymore. You know, they're going to have to get some stuff going. Because I don't know if you've noticed, YouTube's running like shit for the past 3 or 4 days. Like absolute garbage. So I'm sorry if the video breaks out. I had to go live on the phone again. But, so this shooting, now 3 people are dead from the shooting from yesterday. In what was it, Alabama? And 15 were wounded. 1 left the hospital after 2 hours. Now, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the whole church that got burnt down and shot up by the wacko. But there's some crazy stuff coming out about that. They're about to release the social media information, and there was also a manifesto that we're about to get. So as soon as that drops, even if it's 3 a.m, I'll go live and we'll break that situation on who that was. Because there's a lot of speculation going around about who that guy was. And listen, just because people like the Second Amendment doesn't mean they're on our side. You know, we got these NFAO militia that was wandering around in 2017 in the streets of a bunch of black people with fucking AR-15s and MK7s and shit like that, screaming, we want to kill all white people. So just because someone owns a gun doesn't mean that they're a patriot, just so you understand, leftists. Okay, so this morning, first thing, 7 a.m., I got about 14 back-to-back private phone calls from some of my trolls from last night. So now that I'm back live again, I'm going to start making content out of that so y'all can see, since everybody else doesn't want to give it face and they don't want to tell you what even small people like me go through in all of this. So I'm going to start keeping track of all the damage. I'm going to post all of the videos I have from all the past 4.5 years. I'm going to repost everything from my laptop. That way we can go live and I can explain to you what happened in these pictures and videos again, because it's been a few years since I've, posted. But I get at least 300 credible death threats a day. I get people that just pop up at stores that I'm shopping at and tell me exactly who I am and where they saw me at on social media and shit like that. And I'm nobody. I'm just getting back up to, as of today, I'll have 4,000 followers, So I've gotten back live, barely a month now. I got back live, monetized the day Charlie Kirk got assassinated 3 hours before. And I'm back up to 4,000 followers, so I'm getting my first play button probably next week, so we can do a whole new YouTube website, shop. We can do a Discord server where we can go and just say whatever the fuck we want to, and YouTube can't ban it. So we're going to be doing members only, and you have to charge something, so I'm just going to do if they got 89 cents or 59 cents or some shit like that, or if they can do it for free, we'll just do members only for free. I don't care. And then once a month, we'll get back in having a raffle, and we'll give out MAGA hats and Berserker Patriot gear and stuff like that again. So far, we've got 2,500 people RSVP'd for the Charlie Kirk Remembrance in Port Charlotte, by the way. So it's looking like it's going to be a nice event. We haven't posted the exact location simply because we don't know how many people are going to be there. And as soon as we get the rest of the invitations back this week, probably by tomorrow or the next day, we'll have the location completely posted on everything. So we're going to have fireworks, food, we're going to pray, we're going to read from the Bible, we're going to read from the Constitution, the Federalist. We're going to collate together as community members, we're going to build something, I'd like to get a bunch of us together, start going to the high schools, start a Young Republicans Club with the young men at the high schools and stuff like that. Young Christians Club, start building up the country again, starting in your own community, So we might not be able to fix the world, but we can damn sure fix the neighborhood that we're in. You know what I mean? We can fix the community that we're in. We can come together with like-minded people in our community and make it well known to our county commissioners what we want, because that's the problem we have, is we're always at work every day. You know what I mean? We're always at work. We don't have time to go to county meetings, but guess what these leftists do? They don't fucking work. They live off mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy put a little money on their card for their den every night and their video games, and they can go to county meetings all day and bitch and complain and moan and get our laws changed. They can have time to run for county commissioner and sheriff and fucking school board district leaders and stuff like that. We don't have that kind of time. It's expensive. They can crowdfund with their buddies. Republicans don't do that. We're too busy working to be on the internet to see if someone has a GoFundMe or a donation channel or some shit like that. You know what I mean? It's not because we're not with each other. It's because we have lives. We have things to do. You know what I mean? I had to go work 9 hours today before I came here and got live. Left slinging blocks all day, finishing that wall up. So we got to stop being so down on ourselves as patriots, thinking, man, we don't come together like these guys. Because why don't we just start doing that? Why don't we just get a select few group of people that we know and start building them up? You know what I mean? Putting them everywhere. Because if we all just like, share, and subscribe each other's channels that are of like-minded descent on the internet, we will be the majority of the internet. We go watch videos, we skip through them, we don't support the little guys out here, even if you don't subscribe to my channel. Listen, we got Steven Crowder, we got Bannon, we got Alex Jones, We got Salty Cracker out here. We got Tim Pool. We got Matt Walsh. Go check out their channels. You know what I mean? Go subscribe, get memberships, support the cause for the people that are out here carrying on the legacy of Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? We have to keep the truth out here, and we have to slam it in their head so hard, since talking to them is like shooting bullets at them. We just have to keep freaking getting headshots, man. Because they get really mad. They get really, really mad. You've seen it. They pay me money. They pay me money to talk shit to me on here. I think that's the craziest thing ever. You know? And the more shit I talk about them, and the more I make fun of them not paying me, and the more they pay me. It's fucking weird, right? It's fucking weird. Tim Pool's, yeah, he's not even a fucking Republican. He's moderate, but you know what? He'll say it how it is. Do I agree with everything that any of these people talk about? Absolutely not. Because I believe in the Constitution. And I believe the way the Constitution is written is important. I believe in the words of the Constitution. You know, I believe when you say you're going to do something, just fucking do it. Don't be flip-floppy about it. You know what I mean? When you get into this kind of stuff and you speak out and you get known by anybody, you know what I mean? You're taking that risk upon yourself that one of these wackos are just one day going to come up behind you and take you out. That's the risk we're taking. We understand that when we do this. Okay. The ones that have stopped going and speaking in public spaces and stuff like that, don't get upset with them. They're not the fighters, you know. They're influencers. They're not giving you the news, they're giving you their opinion on the internet. They were never here to go out and fight in the streets for you. You know what I mean? That's what those of us at the 3% are for. We're here to get in the streets and get dirty, you know, get out here in these riots while they're happening, get out here and find out what's going on with these people, what's in their brain. The problem is you always find out it's like a bag of dog shit that's in their head, not a brain, because just trying to talk to them, you're like, hey, why are you mad? Hey, calm down. Hey, you know, it's like, even if you try to calm them down, they just get madder and madder, and they won't talk to you about facts. They won't speak with you. They just want to be violent with you. So that shows you that they don't truly have a cause that they stand for. What are you talking about? No one's going to attack me. I've been shot 3 times. I had my fucking house burnt down. My Trump store burnt down. My fucking RV burnt down with me and my dog in it. She's got a big old massive burn on top of her head from it. What do you mean no, come after me? They've cut my brake lines 19 times. They attack us all the fucking time. All the time. It's just, y'all don't hear about it. You know? Nobody hears about it. Everybody you know how many times Steven Crowder's probably been attacked? You know how many times someone's probably come up and tried to attack Tim Pool? Y'all don't hear about it, though. We don't talk about it. But it's time to start talking about it. Yes, it's been the same cigarette the whole time. And yeah, I've been thinking about quitting smoking. I bought some Zyn yesterday. Back on meth, I'd have to be on it in the first place to be back on it. I'm on ADD, passion for my country, and just overall good body health, you know what I mean? Even though I smoke, I can run 12 miles without running out of breath. So, I mean, it is what it is. I guess it's all about how you take care of your body. I'm 43 years old, man. I'm 43. I'm probably old enough to be some of y'all's grandpa. I am no Mexican. My skin's red, bro. When you get me in the sun, you get my... Where's a view without the shade on my head? Nowhere, huh? No, I'm part Seminole Indian, and my father's father was Irish. I probably have some other stuff in me. We all do. We all think we're purebloods, but we're not. But I'm in the town where my people are from, except for the Irish side of my family. I'm in the land where my ancestors are actually from. So, but here's something I want us all to try from now on, guys. How about this? When we meet each other, let's not talk about the past. How about we talk about how we're going to fix the future? Who cares what you've done in the past? Who cares what I've done in the past? Who cares what anybody's done in the past? Let's talk about what we're going to do for the fucking future from here on out. Let's fight. Okay. I'm in Port Charlotte, Florida. You see what my truck looks like. My name's Joshua Pierce. I'm the Berserker Patriot. if that's what you want to do, we got a class right up the road here. We sign a waiver, go in. If you want to put gear on, we can put gear on. If you don't want to put gear on, we don't have to. We have the stand your ground law in Florida, the dueling law. We could sign a MMA waiver as well. We can either go to the boxing club where I train, or we can go up to the MMA place where I train. Either one. Come anytime you want to. You know what I mean? It's called violence of action. Your actions are going to dictate what violence I put towards you from now on. I will never, ever again allow one of you to get within arm reach of me. I have to react. You are psychopathic murderers. You're not civilized human beings. You know what I mean? You people on the left. You've proven that. Now today, there's people running for office that are actively saying they fantasize about murdering other officials in our government. This is where are we in the fucking Twilight Zone right now? Seriously, are we in the fucking Twilight Zone? Are we living in fucking La La Land? It's like we're in a live action cartoon. You know what I mean? This is no longer, America is no longer living in reality. We stepped into a bubble, and all of a sudden reality ceases to exist because this can't be real. You know, when I was, look, in the 80s and 90s, I would have never imagined, ever, as stupid as we were as teenagers. And we were the most fucked up generation, Generation X. We are the most dysfunctional generation, okay? But we just beat the fuck out of each other. Everybody's like, oh, you get mad about the pranks on the internet. What about Jackass? We all beat the fuck out of each other. We didn't go prank people we didn't know and fucking hurt people we didn't know as a prank. We hurt each other. This is what friends did. You know what I mean? Fuck. That's just what we did. We tase each other. Sometimes people shoot each other in the foot or the leg. We did stupid shit in the 90s. We had a lot of fucking mushrooms and fucking did a lot of acid through the 90s. So just calm down. You can't offend us. We'll smile while we're beating you up, and we won't even be mad at you. Do you understand? That's what we need to understand. We're not mad at you at all. This is fun for us. For the Generation X part of this world, there's no hate in me whatsoever. None. I love you guys. I hate your ideology. I hate the fact that you're psychopathic murdering terrorists. But as a human being, I love you. I love you so much, I'm willing to beat the fuck out of you to show you what you did wrong. That's how much I love you. I love you so much, I'm willing to tell you the truth about what you're doing right now, and that you're a terrorist, and that you're evil. And when you mutilate your body and cut your body parts off, you're sacrificing yourself to demons, and you're turning yourself into a demon meat suit. And you don't think we can, but we can actually see those demons manifesting in your face. If you notice, all these leftists that act like this, it looks almost like the ridges of their eyes right here. Almost like they're turning into fucking Romulans from fucking Star Trek, bro. Has anyone noticed that? PC? Are you talking about Port Charlotte? Or are you talking about protective custody? Hold on, I'm going to read. The father beat you? Your father beat me? Oh, yeah, my father beat the fucking dog shit out of me. My father put me in the fucking hospital a few times. One of my dads, I'm a foster kid. Oh, man, I got my fucking ass beat. I've been beat with 2x4s, fucking belts, I've been punched in the face. Yeah, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. We got the fuck beat out of us. Hell, in the 40s and 50s and 60s, the husbands beat the fuck out of their wives. You're welcome. We stopped that shit. At least for the most part. There are still some pieces of shit out there, but it's just part of life, man. It's part of growing up. What does a mom dog do to a baby dog when he's doing something he's not supposed to? She bites the fuck out of him and says, hey, don't do that shit, motherfucker. It's just natural law of nature. Now, I'm not saying what they did to me was natural law of nature. It's not natural law of nature to punch your son in the fucking face and do all kinds of stupid shit to him. No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't take that out of fucking context. What I'm saying is, when you're a kid, you don't get to do whatever the fuck you want to. You get to do what the fuck your parents tell you to do, period. Period. You don't have free will as a fucking child. Are you kidding me? You want free will? Pay the bills. Do all the chores. Go to work. You know what I mean? These are children. We don't give children the will to choose what the fuck they want to do. That's dumb. We give children discipline and we make them learn things that will benefit them when they're adults and they don't have us there to fucking take care of them anymore. That's what we do with children. We discipline them and we love them. That's it. We don't fuck our kids. We don't touch our kids. We don't touch other people's kids. We go to the park and we have fun with our kids. And we go to the water park and we go to the beach and we go fishing. And you teach them how to go out in the woods and build a fire and cook some food and catch their own food and make it. You don't teach your kids that the food comes from the fucking grocery store. You know, kids have to learn how to run the economy of America. That's your job as a parent, is to teach your children how to have a good future. That's it. You know, keep them in the grace of God, and that's just what's going to happen. But don't take your children to 2025 Christian church. Find a traditional Christian church that actually teaches the Bible and doesn't try to interpret the Bible and tell the stories of the Bible out of their own words. Find someone that will read the words of the Bible to you, because the Bible is not meant to be interpreted by man. The Bible is meant to be written and spoken exactly how it is, period. Words matter, especially when you're speaking divine power into your life. Words matter. The way you say things. That's why you're supposed to say certain words in Hebrew when you pray, because God spoke the world into existence in Hebrew, and that's the chosen, language of biblical speech. And then the disciples came along and they spoke Aramaic. So, but they still spoke, they were still Jews. They still spoke Hebrew. So, you know what I mean? But we just got to get back to competing in school. We got to get back to putting God in the classroom, putting the Bible in the classroom. We got to get back to loving one another. But we also have to understand that I'm not a righteous man. I'm a horrible, sorry, scumbag piece of shit. And I will tell you this, and every single time I make a video, I'm a horrible, sinning piece of shit. Don't be like me. Don't act like me. Okay? And then I'll tell you this. I have to ask Jesus for forgiveness every day, because no matter what I do, I'm a human and I live in the flesh, and I'm always going to be a horrible, sorry piece of shit. And I'm a proud infidel too. Proud infidel. I see the Muslim comments. I'm looking at the camera, but I can see out of my peripheral vision there, but thank you for that. By the way, hold on, let me go to you. Sebastian Poleg. What are you in, Switzerland? Sebastian, are you in Switzerland? Are you my buddy from Switzerland? Are you the guys that came down to my shop last year? That's not you, is it, Sebastian? I had some guys come down and do an interview with me. It's somewhere on this channel. They came down, 3 of them from Switzerland. They were a band or something like that, and we randomly met at a store, and they ended up coming out and hanging out with me for a while. And it was right after the hurricanes, Ian, so it had been 3 years ago. So if you want to go see what the truth about Switzerland and their social programs is, you can go check that video out. I can't. Oh, I was trying to pin you to the top there, buddy. See, what I don't understand is two-stroke. Yeah, you probably are a two-stroke person, huh? Insanity here. If this is what sounds like insanity to you, instead of these fucking wackos at these LGBTQ communities that are barking at people and shitting in fucking cat litter boxes and stuff like that, then nobody cares what you think. Do you understand? The actual majority of society of the entire fucking world doesn't care what people like you think. I just want you to understand that. You know what I mean? We love you as a human being. We would love to try to help you. We would love to get you help, because it's not your fault that somebody touched you in the no-no spot and you couldn't handle it when you were a kid. It's not your fault that somebody taught you to be weak-minded and you can't handle simple words. that you can't understand the definitions of words. I will do you all a favor. I will personally print up copies. I will recopy my 1988 Webster's Dictionary, and I will freely send you all. Just ask for it in the comments. I will freely send you a copy of a dictionary so you can actually learn what words are. Because TikTok's not teaching you what words are. We want you to understand that. Blue Sky's not teaching you what real words are. They're teaching you what the Communist Manifesto says, what the Marxist Dictionary says. And you really need to understand how much you project on people and gaslight everybody. You really need to understand that the reality you live in as trans people, as non-binary, as they, thems, well, now you was, wears, because that shit doesn't fly here anymore. You know, you're not going to speak yourself in the third person and anyone's going to take you seriously. You're not going to walk in and try to get a job somewhere and they're going to be all politically correct, fucking living in their fucking hurt feelings that you have to have a job because you're sick. You're not mentally ill. You're just sick in the fucking head. That's what you people are. You're sick in the head. I'm tired of y'all saying they're mentally ill. They're not. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, and they use the mental illness so they don't go to prison for the rest of their lives and get poked up in the back by a sharpened toothbrush because they're fucking pedophiles. Okay? All of this is a sick fucking game. Every single one of these people we arrest end up having child porn. Every single one of them that we've arrested in the past 4 years has child porn on their shit when they get arrested. They end up getting charged with child porn. Do you understand? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to go after the baby rapers. Okay, that's who I want to go after. I want to get these sickos that are hurting the children that are the future of our country. I want to get these cops that are allowing this stuff to happen to our children and to the citizens of our country and not upholding their oath to office. Oath breakers are some of the worst evil on the planet, right along with pedophiles, because it's only because of oath breakers that our country can be like this. Because if we had all law enforcement that upheld the Constitution, our country would not be like this, because they would uphold the law of the land, not fillings enforcement. They wouldn't uphold policy enforcement. They wouldn't go around and arrest preachers in the streets for having an opinion and speaking about God. They would not be going after people like me for speaking at school board meetings and parents and grandmas from January 6th and keeping them locked up for 4 fucking years when their charges only dictate a few weeks or no time at all. You know, you call us fascists, so let's lay it on the line, right and left. On the right, we pray for you. You assassinate husbands and our brother and a father and a husband, and the wife forgives you on live TV. Okay? Nobody came after you and attacked you after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Nobody on the right. But the left, weirdly, after Charlie got assassinated, started attacking more people for no reason. Okay, so we want to pray for you. We tolerate you. We've not ever broke up your fucking protests. You've destroyed our cities and we've done nothing about it. For 4 years, you mobilized the entirety of the federal apparatus against us, contrary of the Constitution. You changed state constitutions and state laws to illegally prosecute a former sitting president of the United States of America and to interfere in current elections that were happening. Okay, you brought out fake Russian collusion hoaxes and said our president was colluding with Russia to win his elections. And now we know that it was you, absolutely for a fact, working with Russia. The left. I can keep going on, obviously, with the right. I can go on a million other examples of what y'all have done to the right. You can't give any examples of what we've done to you. Not one, not a single one. We want to deport criminal illegal aliens in our country. All of them. Every one of them. It doesn't matter. If you're here on a visa, you're a guest. You're not a citizen. If you're on a green card, you're a guest. You're not a citizen. It says right in the INA for the Attorney General and for the Department of Homeland Security that under a green card and under a visa, for any reason whatsoever, that the commanding person in charge at the time wants to revoke that and remove you from the country, they are able to. Because you were not subject to the jurisdictions of America. You were subject to the jurisdictions of another country, and you're just a guest here. Okay? That's how that works legally. So we simply want deportations. We want criminals out of the streets. We don't want our citizens getting murdered. You call us fascists, but we haven't wiped you out when you're having protests. We don't drive through your protest and kill 13 fucking people when you're having it. You know, we don't show up at your news stations and shoot them up. We don't assassinate your people. So that's what I mean when I say you project, okay? You say we're killing you and genociding you as trans people. But all of the shootings in the past 3 years were trans shooters. Okay, you say we need to get rid of guns because guns are dangerous and guns are killing people. No, the most dangerous weapon in America right now is a trans shooter. Okay, not the gun that was in their hand. Do you understand? An armed society is a polite society. A polite society is a tolerant society. We can agree to disagree. We don't have to get along. We don't even have to like each other, but we don't have to murder each other. Do you understand? That's the problem. And I'll keep saying that every single day. I will repeat that on a daily basis. That's the problem. And the only kind of creatures on this planet that just have to kill things because they can't make any logical discussion with it are animals. And when a dog bites a child, we put the dog down. Do you understand? When the dog can't be rehabilitated or a horse can't be rehabilitated, we put it down. So understand that all we are right now is in a day and time in an age in America where we have an entire fight. Everybody's like, oh, it's such a minority, but they're in the streets by the thousands, bro. You know what I mean? If the right, if what you call the right, if us patriots, people like me with the training I have, had 30,000 people in the street, we could take cities with that number of people. Do you understand? We could take whole cities. That's a battalion of fucking people. 5,000 or more is a battalion, bro. That's a battalion of people. Regardless of what you think, regardless of how trained they are, you can only kill so many of them if they come at you in waves. Do you understand? So as patriots and Republicans, we need to start getting out here and standing up and speaking and coming together as a unit, as one people. Even if we're just coming together to pray and we get to know each other, the least we could do is help each other secure our communities and houses together. That way, if something does go down and a bunch of assholes just start coming marching down the middle of your streets one day, you know, because it's not going to be one whole side of the right and one whole side of the left in the streets for civil war. It is what we're seeing right now. You see a group of people just all of a sudden pop up out of nowhere. A bunch of people get fucked up and shot. And then that's it for that day. You know what I mean? And then in another state, a bomb just went off. You know, that's what civil war is. What we're in right now is the definition of civil war. The Democrat cities are actively violating federal law, and Vance ain't doing shit. I'll do everything in my power to make sure Vance doesn't become the president of this country. That traitor-ass motherfucker that called me and my people maggot terrorists for 4 fucking years. Let's make it very clear. Let's make it verbatim. Unredeemable, deplorable maggot terrorists with the leader the likes of the American Hitler were J.D. Vance's exact words. Okay? For 4 fucking years, he stood on these words. In 2020, when he needed to run for senator, he switched over to our side to get Donald Trump's endorsement. Okay? He's not a hillbilly from the sticks. He grew up in the suburbs of fucking Ohio. His entire book is a fucking lie. I read it. It's a fucking lie, all of it. He wasn't a hillbilly. He didn't grow up in the fucking sticks. He grew up in the suburbs of fucking Ohio. His name wasn't J.D. Vance until right before he got fucking married. He changed his name, his first and last name, and then he changed it again back to Vance. So, listen, the guy that's that flip-floppy and the guy that literally says, I need to be locked in a cage forever and all the people like me, and then all of a sudden he's one of us? Come on, bro. You can see it with what's happening right now. He's already using the assassination of Charlie Kirk to campaign for the presidency in 2028. The day it happened, That's fucking insane, bro. He literally just went on live TV last week and said when he's president, maybe the fucking military needs to be permanent in our country. Man, I'm not down with that kind of communist bullshit. I'm down with getting the crime out of the streets, and I've already told you how we fix this. It's real fucking easy. And I don't understand why a fucking retard like me that lives in his truck can understand this better than our fucking government that's supposed to be elected leaders. But we don't just put military in the streets of cities that continue to vote this way and continue to rally fucking troops against us and continue to say we all need to be fucking murdered because they keep voting this way. So we remove the unconstitutional prosecutors, we remove the unconstitutional law enforcement, and that's when we put Pete Hegseth in the military there so they can keep the safety of the city happening, they can clean out all the fucking crime, and in the process, they rehire all new officers that will uphold the Constitution. Finished. Fixed. It would take maybe 9 months. 9 months. We don't need no permanent. Make it a plan for having military in the fucking streets next year. In 9 months, I can set up a mission statement. Right now, I can go on my computer in 8 hours and set up a mission statement for our United States military with ROE and laws of active engagement attached to it that are within the Nuremberg codes that would get this done in 9 fucking months. Why are none of our representatives doing that? I didn't go to college. I'm fucking retarded. And I can sit and look at the strategic aspect of it, you know? It makes no sense. Why don't you come to Florida where we're third in the nation and take all of our criminal aliens? I would love that. I would help you do it. I would get out here in the streets with thousands of people and make sure nobody attacked you. I would fly drones over you while you're here to keep you safe. I mean, why don't we do that? If we're low on Border Patrol agents, then why don't we take the 52 million felons that it's been more than 8 years since they lost their rights and offer them a program to become a border agent? You work for the border for so long, you get your rights back. And you get a temporary permanent permit to carry level 3 while you're on the job. And then when you complete your contract, 6 months, 9 months, 10 months, and you've helped out the country and you've contributed, you get your rights back. You know what I mean? It shouldn't have to be like that. You should just, if you do your time, you should not have lost your rights, period. You know? But I mean, there's simple, easy things we can do. We can't fix this by saying, oh, well, we're just going to send the military in, and now we're a communist-style country that has military and federal agents in the fucking streets, and we're not making it clear or transparent to the people if they're there to go after citizens or if they're there to go after illegal immigrants. There's no actual clear mission statement written up anywhere. Full force is not a classification for anything. That gives you no authority for anything. Full force is just, you can interpret what the force is. So we need a clear and present ROE, rules of engagement, for our military forces to understand what they can and can't do. Because if they have to use deadly force because somebody's trying to kill them, it has to be authorized, or they cannot use it. Do you understand? Like, laws of active engagement, LOAE, and rules of engagement in the military are very strictly grained. They're literally beaten the fuck into you, okay? So you have to understand, these soldiers don't think the way we think. Right now, they're machines. They just got done getting the fucking human kicked out of them in boot camp and in AIT, and they're sending military from 29 Palms and Marines there that have gone through fucking training in swamps like that you don't want to go in. You know what I mean? You crawl through the swamp, you come out, your balls got leeches hanging off of them, but you got to keep going while you're picking fucking leeches off your tank, bro. These boys are eating crowns and shitting fucking wax. You know what I mean? So these are some of the most savage of the savage, and that's what we need to do. We need to get the people that are specifically trained for this to do it, to just do it. The lower courts have no authority over the executive branch. Stop worrying about what the fuck they're saying. Stop worrying about having everybody like us. Who gives a fuck if any of the leftists like us? They already hate us and want to murder us. The representatives are going on TV and saying they're literally just going to take our shit when they get in power, and they're having fantasies about murdering our representatives. So who gives a fuck what they want? Who gives a fuck what they're thinking? You don't negotiate with terrorists in America. That's the biggest staple and the biggest fucking traditions in history of America. We do not negotiate with terrorists. These people are terrorists. If you're a fucking active running member for an attorney general of a fucking state, and you're saying I have fantasies of murdering my political opponent and giving them both barrels, that's insane. That is insane. If you don't think so, then we fucking might as well say we live in Russia now, or the United States Communist Party, because we haven't had a regular election in fucking 15 years, man, 16 years. Think about it. You know, the last regular election we really had was the Bush administration, you know, when Bush, and that motherfucker sat on the floor and ate crowns at a preschool more than he did anything else. You know what I mean? And fucking put the Patriot Act into effect. That literally started to fuck all of this. That's literally what started our rights being 100% abolished in America, was the Patriot Act. You know what I mean? If you really want to go back in time. And then fucking Obama came in. Holy fuck. I mean, where do you even get started with how bad he fucked our country up? The housing market, worst it's ever been in the history of fucking time. More people lost their houses under Obama than fucking any fucking president in my lifetime. You know, that was the housing crash of 2008. Killed American citizens with drone strikes. The only thing we could say he did good was he was the deporter in chief. He deported more people than any sitting president at the time. You know, Obamacare, mandatory insurance, or you go to fucking jail. But he wasn't a communist. Mandatory Obamacare insurance, or you go to jail, or you get fined. But no, he wasn't a fucking terrorist or anything like that. His father wasn't a professor that literally taught Islamic theory and fucking Taliban how to be terrorists. No, not at all. The problem we have right now is we have a president that's genuinely trying to be sincere. And for some reason, I don't know what these Democrats got on people, man. But every time we get someone in that administration that we think is going to be good, holy fuck, you can see dude, when Kash Patel talks now, I want you to go watch his videos before he became the FBI director and how confidently he spoke to people. You know what I mean? When he was giving interviews, how confidently he spoke to people. And then look at how he looks like a deer in the headlights when he talks about the Epstein stuff. Holy fuck. Looks like someone threatened to kill his whole life, bro. Dan Bongino too. Neither one of them are acting the same anymore. Now that they've gotten in there, like, oh my God, this is so fucking bad. There's literally nothing we can do about it without destroying the entire fucking country. You know, because no matter what, if you guys want to go back to the Stone Age real quick, that's cool. We can do that. I don't mind doing that. I can survive. I can live, you know, but you do understand I want the Epstein list fully fucking released 100%. But you do understand it's going to topple a massive part of our country, right? These billionaires and princes and stuff that it's going to take down is going to take trillions of dollars away from our country. So understand that you are doing that. And it's going to shut down businesses and corporations, and fucking some of the biggest oligarchs in the world are going to go away. And so is all of their funds that support the American economy. So understand that that's where they're coming at from their side of it. Okay, so this is so entrenched and goes so far down the rabbit hole and so deep. Like, we did a big story on this when all the Epstein stuff was happening. And so far down the rabbit hole, we're talking Saudi princes, you know what I mean? We're talking Prince Andrew. We're talking literally the most powerful figures in the world were these horrible people. And I want them held accountable. But you have to be willing to accept the repercussions of what's going to happen because of that. Because we would absolutely no longer have allies with some of the most important countries in the world to stop our enemies from coming after us. Do you understand? You don't understand, do you, Left? You don't. You really don't. These sick-ass, horrible pedophiles have covered their asses so well that if you take them down, it will literally crash the world and turn us into fucking China. Do you understand now? China would love That's why China's trying to help get the Epstein files released. So is Russia. Do you understand? So be ready for the repercussions, because we are going to push to get it released. Thomas Massey just read off a bunch of names live on TV yesterday, in case you missed that, left. We've got Republicans in the fucking House right now pushing this shit for us. Okay, so pay attention. There's a live event every 50 seconds in America right now with a Republican representative going on TV and telling you what they're doing for the country right now. So you don't have to watch CNN. You can literally go live to the White House feed and to the Pentagon feed, and you can see exactly what's happening. You don't have to watch a clip on YouTube. You don't have to watch a clip on fucking CNN. You can watch the whole video for the context of what it is and see what Pete Hegseth and see what Pam Bondi are talking about and see what, oh, I can't believe I'm going to say this, Judge Ginny is talking about, and see what, you know, all these people are doing for our country. Instead of listening to other people tell you this is what's happening when it's not. You know, like they're still trying to blame Republicans for Charlie Kirk's assassination. It's insane. And don't get me started on how much they fucked that up. Lag. We're an hour in. It usually starts to lag a little bit, and then it'll go away after about 3 or 4 minutes. What's it doing? Going like real slow, cutting in and out every once in a while. What do you want me to read in my Bible? It's right here. What do you want me to read in my Bible? Huh? The fact that I must hate all things that God hates? Or the fact that God hates when you tolerate the Jezebel spirit and evil? Or are you genuinely saying you want me to read my Bible like I always end up doing about an hour into the session? But as soon as I do, it's just going to be the four of us, you know? But yeah, it's with me. It's always with me. Trump is not God in flesh. That's some of the most ultimate horrible blasphemy you could use right there, good sir. Nobody is on the level of God. No human being is on the level of Jesus Christ. And to say so would be the ultimate form of blasphemy and give you a nice, quick trip to a burning pit. Have you actually read Revelation and seen how crazy things are going to get? Because it literally talks about everything that's happening right now. You know, literally. It even, right down to the fact that one of the first things it says is the children of Satan are going to come after the Christians and persecute them and kill them. You know, right down to it. So, I love you guys. We're going to do what time is it? 2:30. We'll do a 7 o'clock live tonight. Fuck it. I'll take a break and I'll print up some news stories and stuff like that. And I'm going to go on YouTube and see if we can figure out why it's fucking not letting the RTPMs load. That way we can have the sources right beside us here. Because I don't like holding my phone up to the laptop. You know what I mean? I have ADHD. I like to fucking pace around everything I'm doing. So I love you guys. Just understand that. Just understand I will come on here every day and I will do everything I can in my power to offend you demons. Because that is my passion in life at this point, is offending demons. Because this isn't about right and left anymore. This is about Christians versus demons. Because you people can't call yourselves humans the way you act. You really can't. Sorry about your luck. Talk about human rights. You're not human beings. Human beings get human rights. You got to act like a human to get human rights. Acting like a savage, wild animal that can't control your emotions and all you can do is assault people and you can't debate them. That's not a human being. As human beings, we have upper brain functions that allow our hippocampus to send words to our mouth and let us speak knowledge to each other so we can learn. Because you can even learn from the people you hate. You understand that, right? You can learn more from the people you don't agree with than the people you do agree with. Because if you're all talking about the same thing and you all agree about everything, how do you learn anything? You all know the same shit already. We're all one big functioning perpetual fucking swirled up contradiction of assholes. You understand that? And all we got to do is agree to disagree, sit back, have a good time. If you drink you a beer. If you smoke some weed, smoke you a joint. Get out in nature. Touch the ground. Go for a hike. Go fishing. Ride a bike. Do something. Get off the screen. Get off the electronics. Go camping in the middle of the woods with no electricity around you whatsoever for 2 days. 2 days. I'll make a wager with you. You've never felt like that in your life until you've gotten away from all these currents around you for 48 hours. Your whole body feels different. Your mind structure feels different. Get out here and try that. Get out where there's no electricity around. Go out in the middle of the fucking nowhere. Go camping. Cook some good food. Find a place with a good pond. Go fishing. You know what I mean? Forget about everything for a little while. It might help your brains to readjust and reboot back to the reality of life. Because that's what we need right now. We need everybody just to reboot the whole country back to like 1999 was pretty good, you know. We just need to reboot. I don't agree with the AI. Someone already asked me this question and I forgot to answer it. I do not agree with these AI technology bills that are getting signed into effect on Friday. Absolutely not. I think AI is the end of humanity, at least the end of people having jobs in America anyway. I think it's the end of brain power for all humans, because as long as you have AI, these kids will never retain any knowledge and they will never learn anything again in their lives, because they will 100% just rely on that AI to tell them everything they want to know. And what you have to understand about the human brain and the eyeball is this eyeball is just like a camera lens. It's just a very, very, very advanced camera lens. And everything that your eyes see, you remember it whether you realize it or not unconsciously, and it changes you. Okay, so when you go to school and what you see is your teachers dressed up in dresses with a fucking penis and boobs, you think that's normal. That's why they do it to our children. That's why they don't just show up to places with adults like this. They do it to our children because they take the innocence of that child and twist it into something gross, and then they indoctrinate that child and they groom that child into being what they are right now. And that's how they got the way they are. None of these people are transgender because they just woke up one day and decided they were transgender. I promise you that. I promise you that. Somebody groomed these people as children and brought them up like this. And the sad, sick part of it is that these pedophiles treat it like it's a game with these kids. You know what I mean? They turn it into a game and try to make it fun for them. That's not fun, dude. We should have no laws in this country that stops an American citizen from dealing with a pedophile. That should just be celebrated. You know what I mean? School outings. No, these kids never had these thoughts since puberty. Didn't happen like that. They were taught like this. This shit didn't exist at all. Never heard of this in my life until a few years back. This was not a thing. This whole gender transphoria shit. You never heard about this in the 80s or 90s anywhere. You know, you had people thinking they were cross-dressers and shit like that, but they knew they were they knew they were chicks with dicks. You know what I mean? They called themselves chicks with dicks, you know? But this whole situation that we're going through right now, this is just an exodus from fucking reality, bro. These are people that were never taught anything, you know, in life, ever. They grew up on TikTok. That was their school. I get it. You were joking. I get it. Yeah, release them. Hello, Iceland. How are you doing? Love Iceland. Everything's out of hand. The whole world's out of hand. You're out of hand. They're out of hand. She's out of hand. He's out of hand. Everything is out of fucking control. you know. And we got a few select of us like me that are out here. We're trying to speak. We're trying to stand up for you guys. We're doing our best. And that's why I'm going to start the afternoon segment. Hey, I forgot you were out here. Thank you for being such a good girl. Holy shit. I completely forgot you were out here. She's literally just been waiting for me. Hey, come on, get up. Get up. Come here and get some water. Come on, ding dong, old lady. She's be 13 this year, just so y'all know. She's not a puppy by any means. She doesn't hear so well, so I have to yell for her sometimes. She's never been away from me ever in her life, though. Ever. She's never been away from me. I know you're going to say, oh, yeah, my dog was like that, too. No, she's never once in 13 years ever been away from me. She's never been left anywhere. She goes to work with me. She goes everywhere with me. I go eat at a restaurant. She goes with me. She's never been left away from me. Ever. Come here. Ding dong. I got you. Oh, let me take your harness off. Oh. Oh, fatty. Here, get some water first. Hold on. Get some water first. Get it. Come on. I'll let her do her thing, and then I'll come back after she jumps in the back for the AC. Dog is God backwards. I use that all the time. That's one of my favorite things. I also use the saying, because they've gone after my dog. Y'all seen the videos, I'm sure. If you haven't, go look through my videos with her. It's Husky versus Leftist. They've come after my dog because she's white. During the George Floyd riots, they come after my dog and say, oh, you're a racist dog too. Your dog's white. I'm like, what the fuck? That's how you know these people have applesauce for fucking brains, bro. These are the people that shit their pants and change their shirt and then keep going on, you know. These are the Jerry Nadlers of the world. I know that's not the me, because we haven't lost anything in the government. You should go. Everybody, because so everything I said in my live yesterday, it was beautiful. I should have went live while Caroline Levitt was speaking last night and Pam Bondi, because they literally said exactly what I said. They said, don't worry, if we haven't come after you yet, we're going through every single person's social media and we're coming for all of you that have this ideology. So literally verbatim what I said, they said last night on a live. And I told you, and now it's up over 158 subpoenas already signed. So this next year is going to be the biggest court year we've ever had in the history of America. Do you guys understand that? We're going to have live court cases on the TV. The only problem with that, do you know how many millions of dollars these Democrats are going to raise from each other when they start getting arrested? Every one of these Democrats that get arrested, that's why they do this. That's why they get arrested. Because they know when they get arrested, they're now a martyr with their retarded friends, and they'll go take their mom's debit card and send them money on GoFundMe. You know? Because it's funny because they want free shit, but then they start GoFundMes and take our tax dollars that they get for free and their mommy and daddy's money and give each other money. It's fucking crazy. Neurological biology? You mean neurobiology? What about it? What about the functions of the human brain synapses do you want to know? Well, it's also, you can use the old metaphor about dogs and spelling God backwards as, put it this way, if I take my girlfriend and I throw her in the trunk of my car for 8 hours in the sun and I let her out, she gets out, she's going to be angry, she's going to beat the fuck out of me. You know what I mean? You lock your dog in the trunk of a car for 8 hours, you let it out, that dog's going to lick your face and love you. Dog's just pure love. You know what I mean? Like, and it's sad too, because you see these battered dogs. I volunteer at the shelter a lot here, and because we have a really big problem because it's a retirement area and nobody wants to take care of the animals. But well, I mean, I'm sure y'all have seen my old videos. Got it before I had all the problems with bomb threats and shit over there. I had fucking rabbits, fucking squirrels, fucking raccoons. After every hurricane, you get some kind of fucked up animal hobbling up on your property for help. The funny thing is I've been all over the world, but Florida is the only place I've ever been where the animals actually come ask you for help. Like, they'll come up to you. I mean, the most vicious creatures too. Hit gators that'll come up to you and ask you for help in the water to go untie their friends with fucking nets wrapped around them and shit. It's weird how smart the animals down here are. The birds too. They'll come sit right on the side of your door, ask you for some water and something to eat. Like, literally, it's pretty wild. I love it down here in Florida. Other than the mosquitoes, if we can abolish mosquitoes in Florida, this would be the perfect state, you know, because you can't actually get out here and enjoy any of this shit because you're going to get eaten. I mean, just from, you can't see with this phone, but just from the past few days, I've got hundreds of little bites on me from cutting trees out there by the swamp. But I think if you guys would like to start putting some suggestions, I'm going to be putting my YouTube site up tonight. I'm Southwest Florida, and I see your tag says Hog Slayer there. Now, the property I had is on Mill Road in Port Charlotte, Florida, and we did the guided hog tours. Man, my dog's got scars all over the side of her from the fucking tusk getting under the leather strap. I'll tell you this right now, though, guys. I've used pit bulls all my life, and Malinois and Canine Corsos as hog dogs. I'm telling you this, you ain't never seen a dog more ruthless than a fucking husky at taking another animal down. It's fucking insane at how good huskies are at killing fucking other animals, bro. Like, it's like they naturally can just do it. It's absolute insanity. Hey, Kara, let's show them one of your hog spots. The hair won't grow there anymore. Where we at? Right here. Should be red in there still. Yep. A little red. Oh, I got the fucking camera faced at me. Hey, let me get in here. See the red and discoloration in there. See how short the hair is down in there compared to everywhere else. She got little dinks all over her. I have to put a big leather harness on her. And this, you could put steel plates in the side of this one too. But she can't run as fast when you do that. My raccoons, Rocky the raccoon. There's 1,000 videos of Rocky the raccoon on here. He'd come up every single night. He'd run up my leg, climb up my shoulder. I was the coolest little dude. But don't piss a raccoon off, man. There's some mean motherfuckers, and they don't feel pain. You know that, right? Raccoons don't feel. You can fucking stab a raccoon, and they'll still fuck you up, man. And most of them do have rabies. They just can't catch it. So understand, raccoons are not clean animals. Pigs are cleaner than everything. But the raccoons were cool. And these damn Liberus birds, these guys, look, they're waiting for me right now. These guys right here, they're waiting for me right now. Watch. I'll show you. They'll come down to me. They're here every day. Oh, fucking Kira. Stepped in a hole. Let me go get something for them. I'm getting you. Oh, man, the fucking ravens and crows are here, too. I don't know. They might get in a fight. We'll see. Crows are assholes to other birds, but they're the coolest birds ever. They're so fucking smart, it's not even funny. You can put puzzles together down here with rings and put the food underneath them, and they'll put the puzzle together before they eat the food. And then if they really like you, they'll bring you little gifts. They'll steal shit from people and bring you stuff. I'm not even joking. They'll steal shit from people and bring it to you. So they also have the largest verbal dialect of any bird, in case you don't know that. African grays can speak like 600 words, but a crow, if you teach them how to talk, can speak like 1,000 or 1,500 words or something like that. And they can understand complex puzzles and shit like that too. Let's see if they come flying overhead here. Yeah. Every fucking day. These birds cost me more money than any of my animals do. They're a little fucking, they don't make sense either. Look at them. They don't make sense at all. So now you see where that noise from those chickens you buy in the store comes from. That's the kind of bird that comes from. You really want to hear it here. It was like, why you feed them birds, man? You must love birds, huh? Man, shit's about to hit the fan, bro. Where are you gonna get your food from and the fucking world turns to shit? No, I'm joking. But am I? No, I feed them because I love animals. I can't, like, I save turtles almost every day. That's a big thing you got to watch out for when you come down to Southwest Florida. You'll go to prison for life for killing a fucking certain types of turtles here. So understand that. You will go to prison for a long time for killing. We have endangered turtles down here, and we have bird sanctuaries all over the place. But the corporations like Blackstone have come in and bought thousands of acres of our bird sanctuaries that aren't supposed to be allowed to be sold. But they're paying off our county commissioners and they're buying up our land. And the problem is nothing lasts here in Port Charlotte, Florida, ever. It's never going to last. It's because of where we're at, where we're located geographically. There's nothing here. And every time we get a hurricane, the whole town gets fucking destroyed. You know what I mean? So like every 6 years, 10 years, our whole town gets decimated. You know, like no electricity for 2 months, no electricity for weeks type of shit. You know what I mean? Houses on the ground. We still right now have 2 or 3 houses a month burning down in Southwest Florida because nobody received any help from the state here whatsoever. Everybody's had to do all the repairs for themselves. There's hundreds of millions of lawsuits against insurance companies here. All this shit you hear about DeSantis giving a good response to the hurricanes. What a load of fucking shit, bro. We've been in boil water in Port Charlotte, Florida for 5 fucking years. 5 fucking years, bro. DeSantis doesn't come down here. He only comes down here when it's campaign season. Southwest Florida, we got Spanish people working in our stores that don't speak any English. You got to stand and wait for a manager to come up to fucking translate for you. It's weird. It's fucking crazy. We're 3rd in the nation for the most illegals right here in the state of Florida. The only 2 states that beat us are California and fucking Texas. You can Google that. It'll tell you. You can just Google it. I've played multiple videos. Go watch my shorts. There's right here in the neighborhood, hundreds of them. And they live in a house 15, 20 deep, bro. Nothing getting done. So don't listen to what you're hearing about. I don't like it. I deal with it. That's what I do. I deal with it. We need more people to do the same, though. You know? Yeah, well, I'm not going to do that. This is America, motherfucker. I'm not going to fucking have to use an app to translate for you. Get the fuck out. Get them out. I get every one of them fired when I come across that shit. Every fucking time. It's illegal. It's illegal. It's against fucking federal law to hire illegals. You're aiding and abetting criminal aliens. And guess what? That's part of the new executive order. You were going to get prosecuted for working these motherfuckers in America. You were going to go to fucking prison for that. And yes, that's what we voted for. Abso-fucking-lutely. You're taking food out of American citizens' mouths to give it to foreigners that hate our fucking country. These children that are in these stores not speaking Spanish are barely a fucking year old, bro. And they're not having their own children that they're bringing to this country illegally assimilate to this country. They're keeping them with this third world bullshit. No, we don't do that. It's the law. You have to assimilate to America or you get the fuck out. That's the law of every fucking country. Every country, that's the law. Most countries will just shoot you. We're one of the only countries that does this shit, you know, with any kind of due process. Due process doesn't mean a court date. If you're not subject to the jurisdictions of America, you don't get a fucking court date. That's where you people are fucking retarded. Due process, the definition of due process isn't a court date. That's the habeas process, you fucking idiots. That's called habeas corpus. You get a court date. Illegals don't get a court date. Due process is what due process under the law is. And under the law, if you're a criminal alien, you're subject to deportation. It doesn't even have to be back to your country. It just got to be someone that will accept you. Do you understand? When you seek asylum here, you first have to stop at every single country you pass through on the way here and also seek asylum there in order to even qualify to seek asylum in America. We don't just take immigrants from everywhere. I don't know where the fuck you leftists got this. The law of America is we're only supposed to accept immigrants from bordering countries. You understand that, right? So bordering countries is what the law states is we have to accept as migrants. Okay, an immigrant and a migrant are two fucking completely different things. A migrant comes into our country. The first rule of the INA under immigration is you have to assimilate to our country. You have to learn how to speak English. You have to learn how to use American dollars. You have to learn how to work a register and how to do commerce in America. You have to learn how to be an American citizen. We are not a country of immigrants. We are a country of settlers that came here, created the best system in the entire fucking world that every other country leeches off of and lives off of. Therefore, if we allow just a bunch of third world people to come here, there won't be a supreme country that could pay for everything anymore. If we continue to just let people from other countries come here and bring all of their foreign money here, then our fucking American dollars aren't getting spent everywhere. Do you understand this? Okay. You can't just import a different class of people that are third world people because they don't build the same. They don't use the same standards that we do. They don't know how to shit in a toilet without fucking throwing their shitty toilet paper in our garbage cans, bro. This is how you get the bubonic plague. This is how you get fucking diseases that we haven't existed in America in hundreds of fucking years. Do you understand? They just had an outbreak of the Black Plague in California 4 years ago. There hasn't been a case of the Black Plague in 1,000 fucking years, man. Are you serious? So understand, all of these diseases we're getting are coming from all of these other countries too. You have to get certain vaccinations also when you come to this country. So when they come here illegally and they have all this fucking African AIDS fucking wonky donkey bullshit, fucking monkeypox ass bullshit, then you get fucking pandemics and epidemics in your country that can wipe out an entire population. Because they also bring over foods and plants that don't belong in our communities, that are invasive, that take over our entire fucking communities and choke the life out of everything else that lives here. I can go on and on. They bring invasive lizards and let them go in the state of Florida. And now we have an epidemic of these lizards eating our mangroves, and our water is not clean because of it now. We have no clean water in the state of Florida. Our blue water is now turning brown and brackish, you know? That's the downdraws. Nobody talks about that part of criminal aliens coming over here. You know, all these fucking plants they bring here and plant that just take we have an epidemic of Brazilian pepper trees here because these Brazilians brought these they're poisonous. They leach into your water and they poison your fucking water, bro. And they planted them along our fucking mangroves. And now another thing that's just destroying all of our mangroves and now poisoning our fucking water. They're literally poisoning our fucking country because they don't understand and they can't bring that type of stuff to our country. That's why we have a port of authority. Then you push back to, oh, well, what about Ellis Island? Ellis Island was not just an immigration deport. It was the original port of authority at that time in New York. It would take sometimes 7 days to 7 months to even get off of the docks of the port of authority in Ellis Island. You had to sign in all your information. They had to check out who the fuck you were, and then they would let you in the country. I have great-great-grandparents that were from Ireland that came through motherfucking that port of authority. You people just need to learn the histories and traditions of America, and you will understand, if you do that, you will understand you're standing up for the histories and traditions of China, the histories and traditions of Islamic countries that want you all fucking dead. That literally their job as terrorists are to brainwash you to either kill yourselves or to overthrow our country enough to where they can come and murder you. That's literally what their ideology is towards you. So all of you that are out here being taught by these sleeper cells right now, understand when they're done, they're going to murder you because that's their prerogative. They're not very nice people, but I have nothing against them personally. They just don't assimilate when they come here. You know what I mean? It's a problem. We have that problem in Florida with Cubans right now. We were all hunky-dory inviting fucking Cubans here. Now they're coming here being massive pieces of fucking shit, bro. The Cubans are some of the worst problems we have here. And I never expected that. Because the Cubans we already had here were awesome fucking people. But these ones that are fleeing over here after the war and all that shit, communism took over in Cuba a few years ago. We were hauling solar panels over in the boat and helping them people, getting shot at coming off the fucking coast and shit by their military. And they've just come here and they fly their Cuban flags, not the American flag. They fucking don't speak English. They're not assimilating. So we were wrong about the Cubans, guys. We're having a mass. That's why Ron DeSantis has said we will no longer accept Cubans in Florida as migrants, because they have come here and they have absolutely tried to turn this into Cuba. You should go to fucking Miami right now. It's bad. Miami is either Haiti, Cuba, or fucking Venezuela right now. Most of Southwest Florida. We've turned into little Haiti. You know, we had a population of 0.12% black people 4.5 years ago. Now we have a population of like 2.3% black people. Do you understand how much of a swath of people that is in 4 years, though? You know, for a population that's 13% of the country, and they're all fucking either Haitians or some kind of island people. And they fucking literally hate us. I've taken you to the churches in videos where they call us the white devil, and they're preaching to their children that we are the white devil and we must be stopped. This shit is fucking insane. You are not allowed, you don't have the constitutional right to come to America and espouse that we need to be murdered. That makes you a terrorist. Terrorists don't get constitutional rights in our country, ever. We don't negotiate with terrorists. There is no negotiation when it comes to terrorists in America. It's supposed to be anyway. That's supposed to be our staple. But it seems like everybody's negotiating with terrorists all of a sudden, right? You know, we got wars popping up. Listen, I'll call out the bullshit from either side. I don't care. And if people don't like it because they live in an echo chamber on the right, man, you see my truck. For anyone that just popped on here, let's go take a look at my truck again. You can never doubt my fucking feelings about the Republican Party and Donald Trump. You can never doubt the fuck I am. I'm the most transparent motherfucker you'll ever meet in your life. The most transparent motherfucker you will ever meet in your life. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 7 fucking years, my truck has looked like this. Every dent and ding and busted piece of shit on this truck is from a leftist. Every single one. They've destroyed all of my shit. This truck still looked like it was brand new when this all started. You know what I mean? I mean, you assholes wrote a whole book about me. You wrote a fucking novel-type book about me called White Rule Rage, The End of Democracy. I'm that asshole. Now you leftists know who the fuck I am, don't you? You had a whole viral rant about me that got 143 million views on TikTok. Now you fucking starting to remember who I am, huh? You fucking trolls. Or you never forgot, and that's why you've been on my channel back again since day one, right? Now let me talk to some people on my side. How are you guys doing today? I love you guys. Listen, we got a bunch of big events coming up in America. Okay, I mean massive events. We're going to be out there by the millions. Do you understand? So midterms coming up is going to be the craziest time that we've ever seen in America. This is going to be the craziest midterms we've ever had. Do you think the violence has started? We're just in the beginning of October. We haven't even gotten the fucking October surprise yet, Republicans. Do you understand? We're only 10 months in and all of this has happened. It hasn't even begun yet. We're just getting started here. So on a real note, with none of the satire behind it, none of the, being weird about it, we need to come together as Christians and Republicans in our communities and around the world. Okay? So that's my goal with my channel right now. I'm going to be that guy that takes this piece of shit Trump truck and I'm going to get some new shocks on it and I'm going to fix the brakes and I'm going to drive the fucking country and we're going to meet each other. All of us. Whether you're the right or the left, you're going to meet me. Whether you want to or not. Some of you can try to kill me, but you won't be able to because God doesn't want me dead right now. See, Charlie reached his part where his will was God's will, where he only spoke about God and everything he did. He talked about how good God was. And every question you asked him, he turned it to about faith in God. He never turned it to politics. He never put politics above his faith. I don't do that. I'm a sinner. I'm a horrible person. And I'm a piece of shit. I can only beg God every day to finally end my test. But you know, he says he will make his chosen suffer. He will make the ones chosen to fight for God suffer. So I just have to sit back and understand that the devil's attacking me, and God's only allowing it to see if I'll let the devil win, and I won't. I'll never let the devil fully win. But as a fleshly being, as a horrible sinner, the devil does get to me sometimes. I can be honest about it. I don't always remember to pray, but I do talk to God all day long. You know, I don't pray the most articulate. You know, when I speak to God, I feel like a bumbling idiot teenager when I start praying to God. I forget what to say except for I'm sorry and that I need forgiveness and I'm a horrible liar, cheater, thief, stealer, murderer, adulterer, everything. I'm everything. Anything you can think of, I've had that thought in my lifetime. So I'm that kind of sinner and I need that forgiveness. Because without that forgiveness, I can't do this. You know what I mean? If I didn't trust in God and the fact that I know that y'all won't be able to kill me until he wants you to, then I wouldn't be able to do this. That's the only reason. That's why Charlie did this. He knew. You got to understand. The next one of us you guys deal with, the next one of you say that's next, the next one of you finally get to, because you'll get to one of us. We know that. We know what's going to happen. We know more blood is going to be shed. We get that. We hear it from you every day. Your politicians are telling us they want to murder us now and fantasizing about it. We get what's happening. We understand we are at war. Okay, but we're not savage animals. So then you do need to understand, though, the next one that you do get, that's going to be it for you. We're going to wipe you off the face of this country. I hope you understand that. So enjoy your time while you can, because the next thing you do is going to end you completely. You have to understand that. Because we are not this time going to sit back and say, oh, Big Daddy government is going to keep us safe, because clearly they're not if it happens again. So we will have to take action. We will have no other choice. And you think, oh, well, you don't know. No, we know exactly who you are. What do you think we've been doing while we've been tolerant this whole time? You think we haven't been screenshotting every single thing and putting it through LexisNexis and finding everything about your life and who you are and where you are and what you're doing and where your jobs are? You think that we don't have people out here that know all of that fucking information right now? That could literally post everything there is to know about all of you people in about 2 seconds? Because if you think we just got fighters out here, the hackers we have, the people that are on our side that use the internet aren't stupid like you people are. We don't leave a footprint, okay? So understand, you are not going to terrorize this country any longer. I will die to stand up for this country against terrorists, period. Right now, okay? Understand there are a lot of people like me. There are millions of us, millions and millions of us. So, we're, like I said earlier, though, we're not all called to fight the way I do. We're not all called to be out here and 100. Everybody says they want transparency, but then they meet someone like me that will literally just bear it all for you and tell you everything horrible I've ever done in my fucking life and not care how you judge me on it. Y'all don't know what to do with it. You know, most people don't know what to do with it. They're like, oh, well, you know, most people just shut it down in their minds. But that's what we've got to get back to. We've got to get back to just being straight, honest, blind. You see somebody being an asshole to a young girl in a fucking grocery store, don't pull out your phone and record it. Stop it. You know what I mean? Stop it. Say something. Intervene. Get involved. We're supposed to keep the weaker of us safe. That's the duty of the stronger of the society. And especially as men, our men, that's what we're supposed to do, men. Iron sharpens iron. We're supposed to get together with each other, and we're supposed to sharpen each other. Do you understand that? And then we're supposed to keep the weaker of us safe. That's why we're supposed to be here. So literally everything I'm saying right now has been in every single live that I've done this entire week. So what are you talking about? I'm the most consistent person you'll ever meet in your fucking life. Go watch my other lives. Every single thing I've just said or every single thing I've talked about, I will never change my fucking stance on anything. My beliefs are my beliefs, and I'm not going to change them for anybody. I don't care who you are. You know? If you don't want to subscribe and follow me or be on my channel because I'm too vulgar for you, well, fucking bye. I don't do this because I make money off of it. You know? I do this because we have to be out here doing this or we're going to lose. Period. The funny thing is all of you talking shit to me don't do anything. You're not out here contributing like we are. You're in my DMs talking shit to me right now. And then you continue to stay here when I call you out on it. So who's the real loser? The one that's in my fucking DMs talking shit to me? Or the one that has the channel that's growing so fast that within 3 weeks, YouTube's already sending me a fucking play button? You know, so clearly some people agree with me. I just put a post up that I get 22,000 to 35,000 views per live. You know, I've just got 366,000 views on the cop video I posted yesterday. So I'm doing something right, guys. You can say I'm mad, but I'm not yelling at you. I'm smiling at you the whole freaking time we're talking. Tell me how anything I've said is a contradiction, and tell me what the definition of a contradiction is. What contribution have I made to help my neighbors? You've clearly never been on my channel if you have to ask that question. Because that's all I do is help my neighbors. I just built an entire fucking site off in a house for a guy for free because he's 81 years old. All he had to do was pay for all the material. I take old ladies to the store. I pick people up. But guess what? I'm never going to post a video of me helping somebody. If you have to fucking make videos and get content from acting like you're a good person, you're not a good person. Do you understand? You're not supposed to show your works off to people. That's not what we're here for. I'm not here to tell you what I can do for people or what I've done for people. I'm here to tell you what I'm going to do for people and what I'm out here doing for people right now. That's what we're here for. I guess if you looking at things in a small-minded point of view, what I just said was a contradiction. Because I said I do help people and I do this, and I said I'm not going to tell you how I help people. But you're not supposed to go out here and pretend like you're helping people. Like, I hate these videos where these influencers are handing people stacks of money where it's clearly their fucking best friend, or it's fake money. You know what I mean? There's one bill on top and the rest of it's all fake. So I can't stand videos like that. You'll never catch me making any kind of content like that. If it's not something that I can verify as absolutely out here and happening right now. What is a stick music? What do you mean, what is a stick music? Are you trying to get me with something here? Let's see, let me put that together. No? So we're an hour 34 in. So if you're on my channel regularly, you know, usually an hour in, I'm slowing down the channel. And I start going through comments and answering people's comments towards the end. I only answer comments throughout the thing if it catches my eye at the moment when I'm talking, or obviously I answer and give thanks to my super chatters, you know. Which, like I said, memberships is in the process of downloading right now. Then I'll be able to send, you'll be able to gain experience points on YouTube. And that, I guess that gets you like free YouTube music, free premium and stuff like that. I finally looked into that after I went live earlier today. So that's what the premium badges that I'll be able to send you guys for being top fans are. When you're in the members section, I could send you the badges. And then it'll qualify for points towards YouTube goods. That's what it is. Okay, and then I can now receive rubies as well. I don't know exactly what that is yet, but we're getting into it. So the new YouTube. If you don't know and you have a channel out here and you do post regularly, YouTube just launched, it's finally out of beta phase, the actual vlog, and I'm fixing to start a podcast on YouTube. So they can do just a talking podcast now, just like the Joe Rogan show. So I guess we'll be able to attach that to Spotify, and then y'all can come on my Spotify podcast too, which I have the Berserker Patriot Store channel on Spotify as well. I'll be doing my first broadcast on Spotify Friday night, because there's an event going on Friday night and there's gonna be some speakers talking with me. So we'll be doing the first event on Spotify Friday night. I'm gonna do everything I can to get away from YouTube, because they take a lot of your money compared to all the other apps, just so y'all know. They take a lot of your money. It's like 29.6% of your earnings they take, for using their app. And when I go live on my laptop, I can't even go live with YouTube. I have to go live on my studios. So I have to pay for a premium app just to go live, and I still have to pay them 29%. So not a fan of that. Don't ban my video for saying that, YouTube. At least give me the option to cut that part out of the video if you're going to ban it for that, for calling you out. Because they'll ban you, and then in the process of banning you, they'll take your money and keep it. Because you guys don't get those super chats back that they take the money from us when they ban us. I found that out. It doesn't get refunded. So that means they're just taking your money. You know what I mean? That $200 for the super chats I got at the Antifa event last Saturday, all that money disappeared out of my account. It's not in there today. I've only got like $400 on my YouTube account right now. So I would have had $7 if they wouldn't have taken that. You know what I mean? But it does add up. It adds up quick between ads and the revenue you make on here. Takes a lot of work though, guys. I mean, this is a hours a day process if you want it to be any good whatsoever, because the software is really difficult to fucking work with, and none of it's 100% compatible with any of the social media channels except for like Kick and Twitch. Oh, I do have a Kick and Twitch channel too. I gotta put those on here because I haven't been on them yet. So I'm getting everything, guys. We're gonna get all social media. That way, if we get banned from one place, you don't see me go live for a day, then understand that means I'm banned for it. Then head over to my other social media. You know what I mean? Most of you already have my Rumble channel. I go live there once a week right now. I'm going to start going live 3 to 5 times a week over on Rumble, though. You get a lot more options on Rumble, too. From the day one, with no followers, you can already get paid on Rumble. You can get monetized the moment you go on Rumble, just so you social media influencers understand. So go to Rumble. Everybody go to Rumble. It's the fastest growing platform in America right now. It's just like YouTube. It's like a mixture between YouTube and X. It's literally like a mixture between YouTube and X. You can do long form videos on there as well. Stuff like that. So I love you guys. I hope you all have a very, very blessed evening out here. Why am I not in Patriot Front? I don't know. Because I'm with the Berserker Militia. What's up, Paul? We doing, buddy? At 3:30? Well, it's 3:25. Say what's up to AHKMP7 Van, Paul Reed, at Tommy 10161, Odd Tick, at Odd Tick, what's up, at Bento 2.0, at Reno Baker 6980, at Sebastian Epolog. Those were my top 7. We're going through the top 10. At Rodney Shima 1375, at Fallout 9078. Hey, what'd you think about the new Fallout show, by the way? I thought it was all right. At Chad 0012459, and at Debster. How are you all doing today? Give you a shout out at the end there. Because I finished up the job I was doing. All videos and pictures are posted on my channel in my post right now in shorts or video view, just so everybody knows. Because I work for myself. That's why. I painted a house this week and painted a trailer and sealed a roof, and then I cut some trees and I cut some fucking bougainvilleas, which I hate. And then I built this wall and skim coated the house, and I finished up at about noon today. So got my nice payout, and then I'll start another job probably Wednesday. Give me a day to get all my tools cleaned up, get everything carb cleaned out. I got to pull the carburetor off of one of my fucking auger machines right now and clean it out because I think it got some concrete dust in it. And yeah, that is what it is. And as of next month, I'll be full-time with the merch store again. So I did find a new location for the Trump store, and we're going to reopen. So just bear with me, and we'll have that going. Then we'll start having events right out of that location, so it'll be a lot easier. You know, I won't have to do permitting and all that shit because it'll be my location. I tried to get the old Trump Central location that I had because, as you know, that's the most perfect location. Used to be a Long John Silver's, had a freezer and a cooler that I keep all the food cold in. That place couldn't have been massive parking lot. I miss it. I miss it a lot. But they got all the burnt shit fixed in it now, and they just painted it yesterday. So they're about to open a cafe there. So we're having to find a new location. I'm trying to find a new location right in that same area on 41. Possibly the old bank that's right across from the Brown Cow people that are in Port Charlotte. That might end up being what it is because there's plenty of room on that property to have events. So, yeah, if you remember, I mean, we got people like Don Jr. and Melania Trump and Ivanka came through as they were going through Florida when I had my Trump store. We had good stuff going on, you know. So hopefully we'll get back to that soon. And then I'll just be able to have somebody do the occasional handyman work for me and cut trees for me. I got a friend that can cover, and we'll be able to start traveling around doing this with the merch store because you can make the merch on the road as long as you have your solar panels and generators and stuff. You know what I mean? So... And yes, I make all my own stuff simply because I want my products to be made in America. And you cannot order actual American made and assembled products on Amazon. It'll say made in America, but when you get it in, it'll have a fucking Chinese sticker on it. So the parts were made in America and then they were sent to China and assembled, or the parts were made in China and then they were sent to America and assembled in America. You know what I mean? So we go through Bayside USA. For shirts, all of their products, materials, everything are sourced in America, made and assembled in America. And we use them for the hat material as well. And I've got the new embroiderer. I got to pull it out of the box. So we'll start embroidering hats this week. And we'll start posting hats on the TikTok and the YouTube shop. So just bear with us. We're getting there. Yeah, direct message is a direct message, though. You're directly messaging me, you know. I've made plenty of money. Fuck, if you know who I was I owned the second largest Trump store around this side of Southwest Florida, you know. I had $78,000 worth of equipment in my fucking trailer that got stolen with my big ass fucking 24-foot trailer. I had nice stuff, had my nice house. This is the repercussions when you're not prepared for never being in politics and never knowing what cancel culture was, though. I wasn't prepared for it. I can be honest with it. But, like I said, that's all right. I might not be someone to you, but you're in my messages talking to me. So who's the real nobody? You know, I must be somebody because you're talking to me. You know, I love you guys, but you can't really insult me when you're in my live for the whole live. You're my most current viewers, you know, so. Because I'm just a fucking lowly citizen and it's not the government's job to bail anybody out. See, that's where you socialists and you communists fucking suck. It's not the government's job to fix my shit. I made my own decisions. I caused this to happen to me. I chose to fight like this. I chose to make myself a target. I don't blame anybody for what happened to me. It was all my fault. I did all this. I'm in my truck because of my decisions. And guess what? I'll do them all over again. I'll fight for it all over again. You know? That's the problem with you people. You blame everything on the government or somebody else. You can't accept responsibility for the actions you took. And that's the difference. I accept the fact that, and I take responsibility for the fact that I was stupid. I'm not as stupid now. I know what's happened this time when I go. I've only been back on for 3 fucking weeks. I've only been monetized again for 3 fucking weeks. I've already got 5,000 followers almost. I've got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views just on my lives, you know, so I'm doing something okay. I know you got to make yourselves feel better by talking bad about me, but you're just jealous. You hate me because you ain't me, is what it is. You hate me because you ain't me. You don't have the balls to actually get out here on social media and talk about what you believe in, because it doesn't matter whether they're on the right or the left. If you believe in it, if you truly believe in it, you would have the balls to get out here and speak the truth about what you believe in. Plain and simple. But instead, you people don't start social media channels, or you do, and then you only debate with people that are on your side. You won't debate with anyone that's your opposition whatsoever. And I think it's crazy. Or you'll agree to a debate like, Jeff, whatever happened to you, buddy? And Jack, whatever happened to you? You're supposed to debate me last week. I took the time out of my day to get off of work early and set up a dual live stream, and none of them showed up. You know what I mean? I'll go live with anybody, anytime. I am awake. You're the one that's asleep. You're the one that's asleep. You're not political, but you're on my political commentary page. But you're not political, because my video is literally under the classification of politics, news, and activism. So then you call yourself an activist, right? I'm assuming, which means you're political. That's what activism is. You're an activist towards something that's a political subject, you know? Your sexuality is not political, though. You understand that, right? Nobody cares about your people's sexuality. Nobody needs you to sexualize everything you do. You know, which I've noticed. There hasn't been as much of that in here. There hasn't been as much of that, has there? Define what the word woke means for me. Well, I mean, you didn't even have to write that. Cactus. Sorry, the letters were really small. You didn't have to write that, because, I mean, you already know that because their tag name is @BLM. How much dumber can you get? You know what I mean? How much dumber can you get? If you back that shit, then you can't be any dumber than that. Thank you. That must be Oliver on here. Ozzy Crosby is who it is. Ozzy Crosby. What's up? Thank you very much. Oh. Where are you from, Ozzy Crosby? Is that are you Australian? What's up? Dun, dun, dun. Hold on, let me power up the Super Saiyan 2 so he has no effect on me. Ah! Well, then debate me. Darren Conley, Because I've never seen a liberal debate anybody and ever give a fact other than get upset and violent. Debate me. Maybe you can change my mind. I'm very susceptible to communism. Debate with me. I'm not going to insult you today because it's not worth it. Even when I call you pussies, you won't debate me. You know what I mean? Just debate me. Debate me. I'll even let you pick the subjects that we're going to debate on. I'll tell you what. I'll let you pick the subjects and I'll fact check in real time. I won't even prepare for it. How about that? I'll go live with you right now. I'll stay live. You can go pick your subject right now. You can go prepare for it. I'll stay live the whole time. So you can see I'm not prepared for it. Okay? You pick your subject and then come back and give me your tag information and I will send you a dual live from my OBS studios and I will debate you right now. I think that should answer the question. You're not a true fan if you don't know what that is. People asking me what they are. Women should be allowed to play in men's sports? Absolutely not. Well, I don't know. Women in men's sports isn't unfair, but men in women's sports is super unfair because men will always beat women in sports. You know, no offense, ladies. Just we have more bone structure, bigger muscles, testosterone, nuts. You know, makes a difference. You know, makes a difference. Yeah, yawn. Yeah, yawn. It's. I mean, I'm 2 hours in almost. I'm in Port Charlotte. Come see me anytime you want to. Look at him. You still ducking the fade. I'm in Florida right now. Come to Port Charlotte. Area code 33952. You can't miss my truck. I'm everywhere. Joshua Pierce. Somebody will tell you where I'm at. I promise. Everybody knows me. There's nobody in this town that doesn't know me. No, I've seen him what they call debating, but it doesn't work out too well for him. Isn't that the guy that debated Andrew Wilson? And he made him look like a fucking crying little bitch. Because my family got killed in a car wreck. Watched my mom and 4 brothers die in front of me. That's why I don't have a family. What numbers? They're in my posts. All my numbers for my last few lives are in my post, if that's what you're talking about. And I'll repost the video I just got all the numbers on. I just did that in my last live, 3 hours ago. I just posted all those numbers. Go check the sources on my channel. You can just go into my posts. There's not very many just posts on there. I've got the analytics graph up on my post right now. Hold on. I'm trying to go. I've got 4,400 messages here, guys. Give me a second that I'm not answering yours right away. You've posted what the last 3 times? If you really want it to be seen, and I'm not just going to go through thousands of messages to find one message, you know, you can do a super chat for like 50 cents. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah. Later tonight, I'm still gonna go live. Yeah. I see your comment there, Paul. Later tonight, I'm gonna go live, and I'll have some videos pulled up. It's Monday. The news cycle is lawnmower. My lawnmowers were in the back of that trailer that got stolen. New Hampshire. How is it up there right now? Ozzy Crosby. And I bet they are not even black. Ha ha. Don't know what you mean by that. Yes, they are. Big boy, big dog. Yes, they are. Well, I'm paying $1 less in gas right now under Trump. I'm paying a lot less for milk and eggs under Trump. You know, the things that matter, I'm paying less on. My phone bill's gone down by $20 a month since Trump's come into office and implemented the tariffs. All the perks that are coming up with these companies now, because most of them are back in America again. Like tons of companies have reinvested back in America, you know. It's going to save us $1.7 trillion this year. I mean, we've made already, just in 9 months off of the tariffs with China and fucking these other countries, we've made $1.8 billion. I mean, it's pretty good. You know, we have no history and tradition of taxes in the IRS before the World War in the IRS, right? The IRS was supposed to be a temporary situation. Before that, we have 140 years of history and tradition of tariffs. And that's when America was great, is when we tariffed the fuck out of everybody and made them pay their fair share. Let me tell you how tariffs work, since y'all don't seem to understand. You're like, oh, well, it costs the company here. Yeah, you're right, it does. You don't want to fucking give American products in America? Then fucking pay more. Absolutely. And then your prices go up and we don't have to shop at your store and we go to a store that's prices are cheaper because they bought American. Absolutely. You know, because the fact of the matter is I can put it in a real easy analogy. These parts on my truck, every single part that comes off of this 1999 Chevy says grade A steel made in America. And it's got 900,000 miles on it. It's just now fucking breaking down. Okay? Every part I put on it lasts for fucking 4 months. And it's made in fucking China out of aluminum and plastic. Okay? So when you buy parts from China, you're going to replace it every 4 months. You buy a part that's made in America out of grade A American steel, and it's going to last you a fucking lifetime. So you want to pay for the part 59 times in your lifetime and spend all that money, or do you want to pay for one good part that's going to last you for the rest of your fucking life? It's just that easy. Do you want a currency that's good for your lifetime and through your children and your grandchildren's lifetime, or do you not want a backed currency that's paid for by American dollars? Do you want to pay income taxes? You know what I mean? Do you want to pay fucking income taxes? You're bitching about him abolishing your income taxes. How fucking retarded are you? You know what I mean? He's cutting... You know how long we've been trying to get a president to cut taxes on fucking tips, bro? You know how many companies have screwed hardworking servers out of their money because they would keep their fucking tips and say, oh, it was part of the taxes? You know? These girls should be making all of their taxes. These guys should be making all of their fucking taxes. You know, we called them waiter and waitresses in my day. Now you call them servers. Okay, the politically correct term of it. But, I mean, everybody talks shit about bartenders and servers and shit. But, man, in the 90s, you'd walk out of a good bar with $1,200 in your fucking pocket for working an 8-hour shift, bro. You know what I mean? Just in tips, and that doesn't include your pay. And minimum wage in Florida is $15 an hour. So if you're getting paid minimum wage on top of tips here, you're making decent money for Florida, you know. So your average business in Florida is now hiring out at $20 an hour because if you have experience, they can't hire you at 15 or under because minimum wage is 15. So your average manager is now making $28 an hour in Florida. You know, those companies are now having to use American products or pay more. That's what tariffs do. Okay, when you tariff another country for their goods coming into our country, then it works in the opposite. It goes both ways. Either way, it's getting paid into our government to fix the shit in our country that's broken. Everything in our country is fucking broken right now. Our infrastructure's broken. Our fucking transmission lines are broken. You know, our fucking waterways are broken. Our sewage lines are broken. Everything needs to be fixed. Our roads haven't been updated in 45 fucking years. We need to upgrade the country. We need this money coming into our country. I'm Port Charlotte, Florida. We need this money coming to our country so we can start investing money so we're not going into a deficit every year. When all you do is tax and borrow money, you're in nothing but a deficit all the time. But when you gain money from tariffs, you start to get out of that deficit slowly but surely. There is a learning curve when you're replacing tariffs with taxes again, obviously, but that's just the logic behind any type of business implementation. You people can't talk about this kind of stuff because you don't own a company. You don't have to fill out a 2514 or a I-95. You don't have to do that. You fill out a W-2 with a business and they do all the hard work, So if you just get yourself a handyman's license, and you'll understand a little bit about filing your own taxes, and you'll understand that we don't get money back. If you own even the smallest of businesses, you don't ever get money back from this IRS again. You understand that, right? You only pay money in. You get tax write-offs from the equipment and shit that I buy, but you can't. It's not like I can buy a $20,000 fucking lawnmower and then just write all that off in 1 year. I can't. It has to depreciate over time, so you can only use a fraction of what you pay for every year as a write-off in itself. These are just simple economics that you learn in fucking 4th grade. Or you used to anyway. You used to when we had books in school, We didn't have computers when I was going through school. We were just learning how to use the DOS program when I was in high school. You know what I mean? Never started to about more like middle school. About middle school, we were starting to learn how to use the DOS program on the old Apple computer. The screen was like this big, and it only worked in DOS. And if you don't know what DOS is because you grew up in this generation, it's just line printed code that you have to learn how to type in the code to get a picture on the fucking computer itself. It's my job to be on here and talk. This is my YouTube video. It's literally my job to be on here and speak. I'm getting paid to do this right now. Can't just do it for free. But I try to do it based off of the ad. I very much so always appreciate super chats. I always appreciate it, But you only get paid out once a month from YouTube on like the 23rd and 26th of the month. It's not like you can just pull your money out anytime you want to. And I try to, that's why I'm getting into the partner program. I'm in the partner program now with YouTube, which is why I'm a little less vulgar today. Because if we're going to do this, we got to do it to where, that's why I'm starting the members only channels. We got to do this to where we could stay on here this time. I can't reach millions of views again or millions of followers and then lose my account. That shit gets really old. 13 accounts I've gone through now. So we're actually going to get the channel out here and launched well this time. Guys, I'm going to do my best. You see that I'm working with this technology every day. That was a pretty good stream we got last night. If YouTube wouldn't keep fucking having the error 43 on their RTPM. If you don't know what that is, you have to go in and do all kinds of crazy shit to hook up streaming studios and softwares to your YouTube accounts. And YouTube, now that all the patriots have woken up, YouTube's gained like 43 million new accessors coming back to YouTube after the Charlie Kirk assassination. I don't think the servers can handle it. Because you notice they're pulling all the bots off, right? They won't post your live streams anymore until they've gone through it and pulled every fake person out of your live stream. So when you get your views on here, this little number right here that's watching right now, that's not how many views we get. The analytics come through after the fact, and there's 78 thumbs up on here right now, but when the analytics come through, they'll end up being like 241 thumbs up on there. So that's just how many I have at this moment that in the past few minutes have given, you know what I mean? It's weird how they do things. Paid, yeah, YouTube pays people to have channels. When you get out here and you make regular content every day, I get a new email from YouTube every day. I unlock a new, I've been getting on average for the past few days. Yesterday, I got 1,000 new followers just yesterday. You know what I mean? Off of my 2 lives that I did. I don't get any views off of my shorts or my uploads. All my views come off of my lives, And that's mainly because of my thumbnails and my hashtag game. It's not that strong. You know what I mean? It's getting there, though. I'm learning all this for you guys. I got my blue suit with my red tie. That's what we're going to wear to the event coming up. I'm gonna shave my head, trim my beard up. So sometimes it's just fun to watch you guys fucking talk shit to each other. Because it averages out. There's there's just a slight few more supporters than there are haters, you know what I mean? There's a lot of haters on social media, though. The majority of your comments are always going to be hate from people, you know, on everybody's social media. Even people like Steven Crowder, you should see some of the comments he sent me on WhatsApp. It's fucking crazy, you know. These people start to reach out to you as well, like other kind of prominent, you know, social media personalities. That's how we all get together. It's not like we all started off knowing each other, but that's how you get together to do interviews with people. Is they've got moderators that do nothing but check analytics all day, and when people get a certain amount of views on their lives, that's when people start reaching out to you. So we might start getting interviews with some good people again soon. I've sent a bunch of emails to Alex, so we'll see what he says if we can get back on the show. Now that Alex is back on YouTube, I'd love to go on his show. You know what I mean? It's all computer. No, not at all. I don't hate anybody. I hate your ideology, and I hate the fact that you're terrorists that want to murder people, but I don't hate you. The funny thing is you'll say that right there, but you can't give me one instance where the right's murdering people. None. Not one. Not one. And if you're, for instance, is the fucking Nazi that killed somebody, that's just fucking retarded. Because time and time again, every single fucking Trump rally there's been that someone with a Nazi flag has shown up, he's gotten the shit kicked out of him and kicked out of the fucking rally. Every single time. You know, so y'all can call us Nazis, but that just shows you don't know what the definitions of words were. Because if we were truly Nazis, we'd just wipe you all out. And we could do that in about 2 seconds. It would take us 2 seconds to just drone all of you. You understand that, right? 10,000 drones could take all of you out right now. So calm down. Don't get yourself in the same boat the cartels are in, terrorist. We just drone bombed 2 more cartel boats last night. Just that's why I made that, in case you guys don't know. I'll post the video of that. I made a meme that's going around X right now of the bomb getting dropped on it from the drone, and then it says on top, "Now Antifa, don't put yourself in this situation." I don't want to wipe anybody out, but if you're going to continue to kill people, that's exactly what we're going to do. 100%. That's not a threat, that's a promise. We're not going to continue to just let you murder people. Just not going to do it. You give human rights to human beings. If you're going to act like a savage animal, we're going to treat you like a savage animal, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. What happened to the pro-peace president? You started assassinating people and putting bombs in places and killing people. Now he's a wartime president, and we enjoy that. We are at war in this country, and our president understands what our side wants. Everything we voted for is what we're getting right now. As a matter of fact, we voted for it to be more extreme than this. We want him to be way harsher on you people. We want him to bring the full power of the United States military down on you terrorists, is what we want our president to do. Exactly. Point me at some right-wing violence. Point me at it. You liars. You're just a bunch of liars. You're a liar. You're a fucking liar. You're lying to me right now. You can't give me one instance. I love being a scumbag. Thank you. You're right. I'm just a scumbag, baby. So why don't you kill me, you fucking pussy? Oh, that's how I know I'm doing my job right, is because of all of these people in here fucking talking shit to me. No, they weren't. Minnesota right way. That incorrect. Go watch my live from last week. I posted the statistics on that. You're a fucking liar. You didn't do your research or watch any information on it. Minnesota state lawmakers were not killed by right-wing people. They were killed by white supremacists that had nothing to do with the Republican Party whatsoever. They weren't even affiliated. They were registered independent, you fucking liar. Andrew 32393. I've already put those statistics out here for you. I pulled up every shooting that's happened in the last 10 years. We sat on here for 2.5 hours going through them. Every single fucking statistic. It's all been trans shooters and left-wing ideology. Every single one of them. You fucking liar. Who's simping, me or the one that's on my channel talking shit and can't back any of it up? All you can do is insult me with no facts. I just gave you the facts of the matter of what that was. Life's great. I'm in Florida, baby. I'm a Florida native. Life is great. I love life, man. Everything about it. You seem to care about me. You're in here talking to me. A lot. As a matter of fact, Andrew 32393. Andrew 32393. You are in my top 15 top fan badges, bud. But you don't like me. You're right, there's not. Then you got the black community shootings, which outweigh every other shootings in America. The black on black crime. Absolutely, of course I did. I wasn't even in this country when I started smoking. It was a stress thing. There was nothing else to do. We'll just remove them or put them in a canal, one or the other. Cucho boss. We deal with you motherfuckers here, and we don't get in any trouble for it. Just so you understand. We don't have to tolerate you here in Florida. So, what if he is? What's it going to do? Make the tumor on my lung worse? I haven't blamed anybody for anything. I've taken 100% responsibility. You people are just dumb. You're really stupid. I'm only 7 of what? What about which part of what's going on in Afghanistan? There's a lot going on in Afghanistan. I got brothers that live in Afghanistan. What's up? I got 2 brothers in the White Mountains up by Jambali province right now, and I got a brother that's over in Kabul right now. What's up? What do you want to know about Afghanistan? There's a lot of crazy. The Taliban are doing some crazy shit. We're talking about going back into Afghanistan. As a matter of fact, we're reopening military bases there because of how fucked up it's getting right now. What list? The list of the left? Absolutely. I've had the FBI at my door 19 times because of you people. Give me some Republican right-wing violent incidents. You can't even point at J6 anymore because now we know for a fact that 254 fucking federal agents were the ones that incited the violence. We have them on video breaking the windows and telling people to go through. And they're in the process of being indicted and arrested for it. So give me a different instance. You can't use January 6th. I was fucking accused of being a part of January 6th. I was in jail for 4 months over that, if you remember. Can't use that as an instance. Out of the 1 million plus people that were there, 100 people went downstairs. Out of those 100 people, 75 of which were FBI agents inciting a riot, and they are now being charged with that under the FBI. Bye, Paul. Enjoy your phone call, buddy. You know, XIV14, you're probably right at this point. If y'all remember, we found all these burn bags with all of this stuff from the Epstein files in it. Do you not understand that they were even announcing that they're burning stuff right when we were coming into the administration and destroying files. They were even told that the files were destroyed. But everybody tends to forget that. You tend to forget that that happened. So, Linda, why don't you show me the truth? Prove it to me that I'm wrong and you're right. Prove it to me, because I show you the facts from the sources and you still don't believe your own lying eyes. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. I'll show you the facts straight from the Homeland Security websites and you still don't believe the facts. It's crazy. That's why we can't coexist with you people. We can't. You don't have any logic in your brains. None. Well, if you don't like the idea of calling people names, go live under a fucking rock, because you live in America, honey. You know, and we are at war in this country, and if you people can't understand that, then get the fuck out of the way, please, because it's about to get fucking nuts. Did you not just see the fucking, your own sides turning on you? We had 3 Antifa organized whistleblowers yesterday that came out and released a bunch of lists on everything they're planning to do. What, you mean the most historically accurate book on the planet? This book right here, the Bible? The book and the people that even Pontius Pilate and Caesar talked about and their writings and their scrolls in Rome? You mean that same book that can be historically proven more than any other written book on the planet? That one? Yeah, that one. There is no peace with people that want to murder you, Linda. Do you not understand that, honey? I get it. You're coming at this as a woman. I'm coming at this as a man, and we are at fucking war. Okay? These people are actively trying to kill me. There is no coexistence with people who are trying to murder me. There's no coexistence with people that assassinate people. There's no coexistence with people that are running for politicians that say they're fantasizing murdering their political opponents. There is no coexistence with psychopathic murderers that are literally in the streets murdering us. 47 people were shot yesterday by these leftist assholes. Just yesterday alone. 14 injured, 2 killed just in one of the shootings. 24 injured and 1 killed in another one of the shootings. Every single day, these leftists are getting out here and they're murdering people. And they're gleefully going on Blue Sky and TikTok and bragging about murdering people and saying, we are all next. Just go to Blue Sky and put in the parameters, you're next, and go through the videos and tell me how we coexist with those people. Because if you don't know what the left is saying, Blue Sky is leftist YouTube. Okay, it's leftist Twitter. That's where they all went when they left. So TikTok and Blue Sky are where you find all the fucking liberals now. That's where the libs of TikTok get all their videos now. And every majority, 68% of the Democratic Party believes it's okay. The polls literally just came out from the Democrat Party and Democrat fucking pollsters. 68% of the Democratic Party thinks it's okay to get violent for political reasons. That's insane. 38% of Republicans think it's okay. You can't coexist when over half of your fucking community, and you say, well, what about the regular Democrats? Well, I proved you wrong. The last 3 Antifa rallies I went to, the people that were espousing Antifa, the moment I confronted them, your regular Democrats are the ones who surrounded me and tried to attack me with metal fucking flagpoles. So stop using the fact, oh, I'm just a Democrat and I'm out here to protest. Well, you weren't just out there to protest when you were surrounding me with fucking flagpoles. Nope, you're wrong, RKTX world. You can't just take the context of one scripture like that, because it also says in Romans, a man should not wear a woman's clothes and a woman should not wear a man's clothes. Any who does is detestable in the sight of the Lord your God. And then in Revelation, it says, I have this against you. You tolerate the Jezebel spirit. Jesus said blasphemy is an unforgivable sin. Stop preaching that you can be forgiven for anything. You cannot. Blasphemy is a wide range word. It means a lot of things. Blaspheming the Holy Ghost is an unforgivable sin. If you blaspheme the Holy Ghost, which is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit is what the Holy Ghost is, that is an unforgivable sin, and you cannot go to heaven if you've blasphemed the Holy Ghost. Jesus said that himself in the New Testament. So stop preaching this rainbows and puppy dog. You cannot just be forgiven for anything. You cannot willfully sin your entire life and never repent from your sins and stop sinning and turn to God and ask him for forgiveness every day. You can't just go bend a knee on the weekends, pray, and you're forgiven by God. That's why the path is wide that goes to hell and very narrow that goes to heaven. God says it himself, way less people are going to heaven than are to hell, because we are sinners and we are not going to pass this test. So there is no puppy dogs and rainbow side of the freaking, all this prosperity preaching is demonic grace, and it's against everything the Bible preaches. Jesus sat up for 24 hours and braided a whip and put the power of God in it and beat the money changers and flipped over their stuff and broke it. Okay? Jesus said, any who would take one of these children's face away from me and the Father should tie a millstone around their neck and throw themselves into the ocean. Okay? Look what God did with David. Look what God did with Joshua. Look what God did with Samson. Look what God did with Samuel. Are you kidding me? Puppy dogs and rainbows part of the Bible. Read Revelation. That's where we're at right now. You know, you got the Old Testament, then you got the New Testament, and then you got Revelation, which is a completely different book of the Bible altogether. It is not part of the New Testament. It is Revelation. That's why it's not the revelations of Christ. It's the revelation of Christ. Paul went into the wilderness. Paul went and lived as the Gentiles, as a lawless, godless man. When he preached to the Gentiles to bring the Gentiles to him, God lived as a Canaanite when he went to the Canaanites to preach to them. God lived as a Jew and lived under the law of God when he went and preached to the Jews. Okay, so why don't you get your Bible facts straight? Because I will talk to you about the Bible anytime you want to. Because I have a Bible right here. Where's your Bible at? You've never read the Bible in your life, ever. Ever. I read the Bible as much as possible. I'm not going to say I read it every day. I read the Bible when I remember to and when I need guidance from God. And I don't interpret the Bible like you're doing right now. I read it as the Word of God. So we're going to go right. We're just going to open right here. Flip it over. We're going to open right here. And well, we just happened to open to Corinthians. We just happened to open the book of Corinthians. If I must boast, I would rather boast about the things that show how weak I am. God the Father of our Lord Jesus, who is worthy of eternal praise, knows I am not lying when I say, in Damascus, the governor under the king, this boasting will do no good, but I must go on. I will reluctantly tell about visions and revelations from the Lord. I was caught up in the third heaven 14 years ago. Whether I was in my body or out of my body, I do not know. Only God knows. Yes, only God knows whenever I was in my body or outside of my body. This is when Jesus was giving the revelation of Christ to Paul. Visions and the thorns in his flesh is what the version of this post is. So he's glad to boast in his weakness. He's glad to live as the smaller live. So I will read the Bible to you anytime you want me to. This is in the book of Revelations right here. And I tell you this writing a lot, but I don't ever read them to you that much. I know about your suffering and your poverty, but you are rich. I know the blasphemy of those opposing you. They say they are Jews. You just asked me this question, so I'm answering it. But they are not, because their synagogue belongs to Satan. Don't be afraid of what you are about to suffer. The devil will throw someone into prison to test you. You will suffer for 10 days. But if you remain faithful when even facing death, I will give you the crown of life. Anyone with ears here must listen to the Spirit and understand what he is saying to the churches. Whoever is victorious will not be harmed by the second death. I know that you live in the city where Satan has his throne, yet you have remained loyal to me. You refused to deny me even when Antipas, my faithful witness, was martyred among you there in Satan's city. But I have a few complaints against you. You tolerate some among you whose teachings is like that of Balaam, who showed Balak how to trip up the people of Israel. He taught them to sin by eating food offered to idols and by committing sexual sin. Let me reread that. I have this against you on the day of judgment. You tolerate some among you, those whose teaching is like that of Balaam, who showed Balak how to trip up the people of Israel. He taught them to sin by eating food offered to idols and by committing sexual sin. In a similar way, you have some Nicolaitans among you who follow the same teaching. Repent of your sin, and I will come to you suddenly and fight against them with the sword of my mouth. Anyone with ears to hear must listen to the Spirit and understand what he is saying to the churches. To everyone who is victorious, I will give some of the manna that has been given away in heaven, and I will give to each one a white stone, and on the stone will be engraved a new name that no one understands except the one who receives it. See, Charlie received that name. I haven't received that name yet. But it tells you right there in that scripture, right there in Revelation, I have this against you on the day of judgment. You tolerate those among you who lead these people into sexual sin and eat food that's offered to idols. So, that's the word of God, not the word. That's read directly from the Bible. You don't interpret the Bible. What that says is what it means. Just like in 1 Timothy, numerous times he says, this I am telling the truth about. This I am not exaggerating about. 4 times in the scripture. Absolutely not. God is the only one I bow to. Every day I get on my hands and knees in the dirt every single night and I pray to God. And I beg him for forgiveness. I don't know. Why are you on my channel listening to me in the first place, Furry Scott? That's a good question. Why should you listen to me? Challenges. Port Charlotte, Florida. Anytime. Name's Joshua Pierce. Hold on, just in case you don't know, this is what my truck looks like. You can't miss me. Can't miss me, guys. It's just that easy. I mean, I could keep reading out of the Bible, and I just randomly turn to a page. Just randomly turn to a page that told you not to tolerate. I can randomly turn to 5 more pages that'll tell you the same thing. I guarantee it. Okay? God, it says verbatim in the Bible, you must hate everything that God hates or you don't love God. Okay? God does not preach for you to love everything. You must hate all things God hates or you don't love God. That's the teachings of the Bible. They are. You're absolutely right. 100% bad. The false prophet speaking directly from the Bible? Okay. Cherry picking by opening the Bible and reading it? People are so stupid. Misreading the Bible by reading exactly what the Bible says? Wow, you people are just dumb, aren't you? It says bad things about addiction. And that's why I tell you I'm a piece of shit, horrible sinner. You're right, I do have a record. Absolutely, I have a record. You probably do too. I don't follow Trump. You don't follow Jesus. I guarantee it. That would have been the red letters if this wasn't a teaching Bible from the Hebrew sense. And that was Jesus' revelation, and all of Revelation is the revelation of Christ. Do you understand that, right? That's all the words of Jesus. Who needs to get a life, William? The one that's in my chats or the one that's got a channel? You don't know what a Christian is, clearly. King of the chill. You don't know what a Christian is. I'm not a saint, I'm a Christian. There's a difference. A Christian means I'm a horrible sinning piece of shit and I can't do it without Jesus Christ. Who cares what Martin Luther said? I don't give a fuck what he said. I pray for you to understand the Bible. I pray for you. Because it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I finished my job site today at 12:45 around. If you ever want to see what I do for a living, I got videos all over YouTube of my jobs that I do. I own America First Painting, Berserker Patriot Lawns and Tree Service, and I'm relaunching my Trump store as we speak right now. And, I made about $700 off of YouTube this week. So, these people that are talking and asking about my job don't do any research on anything. Don't look at anything. They're just talking shit because they're miserable. Because if you go through my channel, you'll see I work every day. I went to work this morning, worked for fucking 5 hours, finished my job up. See, this person, look at how stupid King is. Just everything you say, they take out of context and want to make a fucking, talking about being a Christian and everything they say is an insult to somebody. Love it. I love you guys. I love you ones that talk bad about me. You get me more, you make me more money on here than anybody else does. Now, your MC question doesn't make sense at all because Trump's the only person that banned Epstein from every single fucking one of his businesses. Nobody else did. Trump's the only one who went on the news in the 90s and said something's not right with Epstein. He needs to be investigated. Trump's the only one that banned him from all of his casinos and fucking motels because he said he was a creepy little dude that he didn't like. 100% facts. But see, none of you will debate me, so I'm not even going to answer your comments. It's not really worth it. Love you, Sherry. Fine, get the fuck off. Thanks for telling us that you're being a little bitch baby. Thanks for letting us know you're pouting because you don't like the things coming out of my mouth. And that's the problem you people on the left have, is that you can't just take words for what they are as words. If you have to have somebody agree with you all the time, you're not the kind of person I would ever want on my channel in the first place. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to agree with half the stuff most people say. Because I believe in the Constitution and the way it was written. I believe in the Bible the way it's written. You're interpreting things for your own benefit, so you don't feel like such a sinning piece of shit. I know how much of a horrible piece of shit sinner I am. That's the difference between me and you. I don't pretend like I'm a great Christian. I tell people, don't act like me. I don't want you to act like me. I'm not monetizing faith. My fucking channel is not about faith by any means. My life is about faith. You know, when it comes to, I love Jesus Christ and I wish I could be a much better person than I am, you know, but I don't know anybody that helps more people than I do. I don't know anybody that truly has a conscience, and when they see somebody in need, they just try to help them to the best of their ability, even if it hurts them. You know what I mean? I don't need money. I live in my truck. If I have $200 in my pocket, I'll give half of it away if somebody needs it. We're all a piece of shit, every one of us, no matter what. And everybody needs money. If you're mad at me because I need to make money, every single thing I do costs money. All of this software that I pay for to do this stuff costs money. All of these rallies, all this food, it all comes out of my pocket. I pay for every single thing that I do. I don't get any handouts from anybody. I don't get donations from anybody. I get my super chats from a few select people that know my channels and know who I am and know what I do for my community. And that's about it. That's the only thing. Everything else comes from these jobs that I do. This entire Charlie Kirk event that's coming up on the 14th is coming out of my pocket, except for the fireworks. And that's because the guy's a big supporter of the Trump store that I had, you know, so it is what it is at this point. You know, I'll just continue to get out here. I'll continue to spit what I know is knowledge and I know is the truth. Listen, you want to know how you become a better Christian? You start hanging out with more Christians. See, I've detached myself from the world for the past about year and a half because you people threaten to blow up and kill everybody that gets close to me. So I don't want anyone around me to get hurt. But it's just human nature. It's how your brain works. You want to be a better person, you hang around with better people, and you automatically start acting that way. Your brain subconsciously, unconsciously, doesn't even know what it's doing. But say you go hang out with a bunch of Christians all day long, you just naturally start acting more Christian. Me, I'm acting more like an animal right now because I'm living more like an animal right now. Me and my dog, I spend more time with my dog than I do human beings at the moment. The only time I spend with human beings at the moment are when I go oppose Antifa rallies and people are trying to kill me. So far be it for me to say any of your comments are bad because, yeah, my demeanor from when I started doing this to now, after people have tried to take my life numerous times and threaten to kill me on a daily fucking basis and destroy my shit and cancel my stuff and call the FBI on me, has made me quite a bit jaded. Absolutely it has. But no matter what I've lost, I've never blamed it on God. No, that's a lie. I have. I've yelled at God for losing this. I have. I've yelled at God. I've gotten mad at God. I scream at God all the time, actually. If I can't scream at my father, who can I yell at? You know what I mean? God's not just here for you to pray with. You understand, right? God's here for you to talk to, too. If you have problems and you talk to God about it, your problems will get better a lot quicker than if you talk to a psychiatrist about it. Shit. When I'm down and I can't pay my bills, I pray and I always get work. Every time that day, I get enough work to pay my bills off in that day, every single time. hanging around Christians is putting the effort in, you ding-a-ling. That means you're going to a church on a daily basis and hanging out with people and learning more ways to act godly. Do you understand? That's how human nature is. That's how people learn how to do things better, is they go learn them from other people. You don't just teach yourself how to be smart. Everything you learn is something somebody else has already learned. We're all just a reproduction of something that's already happened. None of us are an original being or have an original idea. Every idea that all of us have has come from somewhere else, so we all learn something from somebody else. But, that's just the fact of life. So if you're hanging out with criminals, you're going to act more like a criminal. If you're hanging out with patriots that mostly care about their country, you're going to act like a patriot that mostly cares about your country. If you're hanging out, the environment you're in dictates the type of person you are. Whether you want it to or not, whether you can admit it or not, that's just human nature. Whatever environment you're in is the environment you're going to live under. If you live in a third world country, you're going to start acting more like a third world person. That's just a fact. You're not going to move up to Africa right now and continue to act like an American, because that's not how people act up there. You know what I mean? You're going to assimilate to the environment that you're in. That's just human nature. And if you can't admit that, then you're not learning anything in life. Because it's the people that you don't get along with that you learn from, not the people that you do get along with. Because if everybody has the same idea and everybody gets along with anything, you're not learning anything. You're just learning what you already know over and over again. So we have to agree to disagree and argue with each other and debate each other. You don't have a society that evolves and reaches to strive for the stars and better things. This is the worst America's ever been. I mean, our outer space programs, other than Elon Musk with our government, are worse than they were fucking 50 years ago, bro. I mean, we don't have the ability to go to outer space without Elon Musk. If it wasn't for Elon Musk, we wouldn't have a space program right now. Our last spaceship that worked was like 15 years ago. We've been using Russian Soyuz rockets since then. More than 15 years ago, more like 20 years ago. 100% true. 100% true. I got Science TV and NASA TV downloaded right here on my computer, buddy. I watch the International Space Station on almost a daily fucking basis at night. I love the stars. That's what I wanted to go to college for. If I went to college, I was going to go to college for astrophysics. We do not have a space program with the United States military. That's why we created the Space Force under Donald Trump. That was the first time we had a space program, and that's under SpaceX. We don't have any rockets with the United States has not launched a rocket since I was a kid. We've been using Soyuz capsules the whole time. Look it up. Space Force. I just said that's why Trump created Space Force. Space Force has only been around since Trump's term. That's the first time we've started looking into going in outer space again, was under Donald Trump. Nobody else had it. There was no innovation under Barack Obama with NASA. As a matter of fact, they cut funding to NASA under Barack Obama. So we haven't had any funding into NASA in a long time. What's up, Jason? Last term, yeah. Space Force isn't a joke. Actually, they've got the better weapons. Space Force is loaded, bro. Space Force isn't just about going into space. It's about testing all of our technological advances as well. I'm not pissed. But you're not gonna like try to school me on something that's a subject I love, though. Tell me we have rockets. Man, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. That was my dream. And then the stuff happened, and my brain doesn't work the same way it used to anymore. I'm not rough around the edges. I'm fed up. There's a difference. My old channel was nothing like this one. I was nowhere near as vulgar. I was more scripted, Yeah, it does have a saggy top. That's what happens when, thousands of dollars worth of vandalism come through and people throw buckets of rats in your fucking truck. You should see the seats when I take this fucking pad off. It ate right through my fucking seats. Took me fucking a month to get all of them out of here. And another 2 months to get all the bullshit out of here. Fucking scrub this thing down and steam it. Honestly, I think they would have already voted for it here in Florida. I was pushing for it. I've talked to Greg Stubbe about that many times. We've got enough people in the Senate that'll vote for it. And we know Byron Donalds is trying to help push it, but I mean, honestly, if you want to know the truth of the matter, I'm very disappointed with Ron DeSantis, and I campaigned for him very largely. I was on his campaign team, and I'm pissed, man, because we did have constitutional carry on the ballot, and he refused to sign it, and he signed permitless carry. And now that the lower court struck down his decision, he's like, oh, well, we should have always had constitutional carry. No, we did, and you refused to sign it, buddy. We did have it, and you refused to it in the beginning to sign it into actual law at the time. So a court had to come through and overrule that. And then the Section 230 bill that was supposed to be for we the people to hold big tech accountable, Ron DeSantis himself put for the politicians only in that. The Don't Say Gay bill got overturned after 2 weeks. Nobody even knows about that. That went away. The book ban went away too. It got overturned by a federal judge, but from the grace of people like me, if you watched my old channel, you know that's what I did. We got over 1,800 pornographic books pulled out of the schools in the state of Florida. Like, we had entire groups of people that did that in Florida. We, the people, are the ones out here at the school board meetings getting arrested by the FBI, being called terrorists for speaking for our children, not Ron DeSantis, okay? There's a loophole left open in the e-verification bill that allowed these criminal aliens to get legal driver's license in our state. It's just a whole rash of problems. They cut vital infrastructure bills, which is the reason we're in a boil water ban right now, and is why none of our waterways have been fixed since the hurricanes. I mean, I'm extremely disappointed. And then you hear all this pretty shit on the TV, and then you look around your fucking community and you're like, we are in the worst housing market in the history of Florida right now. Like, it's bad. It's worse than 2008 was right now in Florida, guys. If you don't understand, my neighbor's house is for sale. All three of the houses across the street are for sale right now. These people right next door over here are selling their house. Almost everybody in this neighborhood's moving, and it's all foreigners that are moving in when these people move out. Everybody's leaving Florida. It's too hard to live here. It's just so we have the highest inflation in the nation right now in the state of Florida. You know, you people think cigarettes are expensive in New York because they're 13 a pack. They are here too. They're 10 and 13 a pack for Marlboros and stuff like that here too. You know, our gas has gone down a little bit, but that's not because of the state. That's because, you know, that extra tax they had went down. So our gas went down by $1 under Trump. But as far as the state of Florida is gone, we can't get any help from Trump because DeSantis keeps saying he's got this. And he don't seem to got this. I was born in Dade City. Who the fuck are you? I was born in Dade City, buddy. That's fucking hilarious. That's where I was actually born, and I was born premature, and they life flighted me to Tampa General. I grew up in Polk County. My grandma worked at the Zephyr Hills water plant for 60 fucking years. Who are you? Dade City? Do we know each other? Where'd that comment go? I lost the comment. Hey, pal, you live in Pasco? Okay, there you go. Do you live in Pasco County? Why would I move to Dade City? That was a weird comment to make. Why would I move to Dade City? What a shithole. What a fucking shithole. What's there, like two stores and a couple bars in fucking Dade City? Maybe it's changed by now, but I was thinking about moving back down to Lakeland, though, or up in Tampa where I can get to more rallies easier. Oh, you mean the 94L thing or whatever it is? I don't know. I'm not going to get into that speculation until it's here. What do you think about the fact that the poles might shift and Florida might be up on the other side of the equator and be Yeah, I lived for a long time down off 7th Avenue in Ybor City, though, right across the railroad tracks where the market is right there. And I lived down the road in Brandon as well by the car lot for quite some time when I first got back to Florida. But you're right, Tampa is big, but we got Benny Johnson down there. We got Fergiano Below down in Tampa. All the good MAGA people are in Tampa right now, you know. I can't qualify for food stamps because if you have a handyman's license in the state of Florida, you can qualify for maybe $6 in food stamps. Yeah, as we're saying, they're saying the polar, everything's about to shift, but people like me will survive just fine. We don't need we can live in the Stone Age. Yeah, you more sleazy. I worked at a lot of the clubs up there. My mom had a contract with the amphitheater for a long time. What's the opposite of what Jesus said? You can get what's called, in each county, you get a handyman license. Depending on the county, it's a different rate. But that license, you got to have a handyman's license to change a fucking light bulb for somebody in Southwest Florida, bro. Oh, they don't? No, yeah, you got to. This is the worst county in the world that I live in for permitting and shit like that. I have a state LLC. I have a fictitious name, which means I can attach it to my LLC or my handyman's license for Berserker Patriot Store. And then I have a handyman's license for Joshua Pierce Lawn and Landscapings. The fictitious name and the LLC are good for 5 years. A lot of very advanced weapons. I'm assuming since you can't go there. You know? Yeah, you can't, you can't go there, right? Yeah. What do you do? What do you do for a living? Now, what is your LLC under? Because as you know, you can get it for a multitude of different things. Sorry, I'm looking at something right now. We'll be back with you in 2 seconds, I promise. I'm looking at my dictionary. Somebody asked me definition of something. What does any of that have to do with anything I've said? I've never said I worship money or gold ever. As a matter of fact, I've said don't build up treasures on earth, build up treasures in heaven. That has nothing to do with anything I've said. Matthew 23:17 has nothing to do with what we've talked about. It talks about not worshiping gold idols. You do understand when they say don't swear by idols, it means don't swear your allegiance to idols, right? It's not saying swearing as in cuss words. You do get that, right? It's saying don't swear by idols. Don't swear by the gold, swear by the altar of God is what that's saying to you. So you worship God, you don't worship money. And in no way, shape, or form have I said anything about worshiping money in here. Just because I make money doesn't mean I work I worship money. Are you stupid? I live in my fucking truck. I'm homeless for what I believe in. So, what about it? You're allowed to make money as a Christian. You don't worship money. Just because you make money doesn't mean you... Are you stupid? Are you really that dumb? You must not have any money. That's why you're mad. You don't have any money. You don't work for a living, clearly. That's dumb. That makes no sense whatsoever. Your logic literally doesn't make any sense. Are you stupid? Because you make money, you worship money. I don't worship anything other than God. Do you know what worship is? Do you know what worshiping is? Spending money isn't worshiping money. Helping people with money damn sure isn't worshiping money. I would love to have 7 acres. You know what, Jason? A lot of people ask me, how can I deal with all these people talking shit? Because I don't believe they exist as people anymore. So I literally just goes in one ear and out the other. That's why I just talk shit to them. I literally don't see these people anymore in this country after they've assassinated our brother and gleefully celebrating about it. And then trying to, as Satan's demonic children, trying to twist the Bible's words as I'm reading them directly from the Bible to you and still saying that I'm lying to you and telling you that I'm wrong. That's demonic grace, and the devil will never get that rise out of me, ever. It's not worth my time. It's not worth my soul. It's not worth my faith. You know what is worth my soul, though? Helping you with yours. How about we put it that way? I'm willing to give up what's good and holy about me to protect what's good and holy about you. I'm willing to not be able to step into that tabernacle just like David or Joshua. Do you understand? I'm willing to take eternal damnation so you can go to heaven. That's crazy, right? That's fucking crazy. I'm insane for saying that, but that's how I believe. That's literally how I feel. I'm willing to stand up for those that are weaker than me in order for them not to have to deal with it. I've proven that time and time again to the point where you people have put me in my truck, bro. You can't argue with any of my convictions. Oh, y'all are all butthurt. Y'all are all so sad and pathetic. Just talking a bunch of shit. Yeah, I'm not worried about them. They don't bother me one bit. When they threaten me, I don't even really think a second thought about it. You know what I mean? I still love them. I still pray for them. I hope they pray for me. No, yeah, you did. You threatened my landlords. You threatened to bomb their house. You threatened to kill their children. You demolished my stuff. You attacked my shit. You called the FBI on me. You did. You did. I made the decisions that got me here, but no, you physically caused the actions that put me where I'm at. I'm not where I'm at because I don't have money. I'm where I'm at because you keep trying to kill people that get close to me. That's why I'm at where I'm at. Because I got so large so fast that you don't want me to get back out there again. And I understand that. But guess what? I'll keep getting back out here. You can keep trying to take my spirits down in here. You can keep talking all the shit you want to me. I'll keep smiling and telling you I love you and tell you I don't tolerate you. I won't tolerate any of your violence any longer. It's okay. It's okay. We get it. You have no emotional control. We understand that you are mentally deficient. We get that, okay? We understand that you're not mentally disabled, though. You know exactly what you're doing, and you want to use your so-called unverified, undocumented, with an actual professional mental illness to keep you out of prison. We already know that's why you do this, and it's not going to fly when you get arrested. We hope you understand that. There are going to be no options for when you're charged as a terrorist. You don't get an option for programs. That's why we are putting you under foreign terrorism when this new law goes into effect. You don't get an option of the regular trials. You don't get an option of your constitutional rights. You don't get an option of the same type of due process a regular citizen gets when you're deemed a terrorist. You get arrested and you get a minimum mandatory sentencing in a prison cell. You do not get a mental health program. It doesn't matter how much you say you're mentally deficient. When you get charged as a terrorist, you do not get those same protections under American law. We want you to understand that. Is what your neighbor? Locking up your neighbor? What chapter is locking up your neighbor? What do you mean? The Bible says you must live under Caesar's laws. You must live under your government's laws, according to the Bible. It even says in the Bible, slaves must obey their masters. So are you saying we should still have slaves and they should still obey us? Is that what you're saying? Because you know you can't go off the old law of the Bible for, before Christ, part of the Bible in the New Testament, right? And you can't go off the New Testament for the book of Revelation, right? They're not the same book of the Bible. They're a different chapter in the Bible altogether. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, which means you must follow all the laws of the government you live under. It says a bunch of times in the Bible, you must follow the laws of your government. Am I trespassing where? On my piece of property that I own? Am I trespassing on my piece of property? No, I don't think I'm trespassing on my land. And yes, I get what you're going to say, Paul. I'm not homeless because I own property. I own 3 different lots, to be exact. I've stayed on all 3 of them. You've seen them in my videos. Yeah, I'm trespassing with my canopy and my fucking camper and my boat and my fucking big-ass shed. I'm trespassing. That's why that's the only thing that's on this property. The only thing this was used for was this right here. This is where all my tools are. I'll give you a glimpse of what I do for a living, since you want to know. I do everything. Doesn't matter what it is. I do concrete work. I do chainsaw work. I auger for big saws. I've got my harnesses for hanging from towers. I've got my ladders. I've got my specialty saws. I've got my lifts if I want to work on fucking cars. Pressure washers, vacuum cleaners, tools. I mean, if I want to do tile work, I've got tile tools. If I want to do big concrete work, I've got jackhammers. I've got fucking hedgers. I've got 15 or 20 different engines if I need power and a shit hits the fan situation. You know what I mean? I've got tubs of survival gear. I've got gas cans and more oil than you can think of. Propane tank after propane tank after propane tank. That's what I do for a living. I pay for everything I own out of cash. I'm in debt in no way, shape, or form except for the finances of the things that you burnt to the ground in 2020. I don't use credit cards. I pay for everything with cash. Yes, I've got quite a few of those in there. I showed you the one that's in the back of my truck at all times the other day. Those are all... I've got at least 10 or 15 different poles right there. A bunch of tackle boxes down here. There's not a day I live on a fucking canal, a freshwater canal. I catch bass right out of the fucking canal, bro. You know what I mean? Get bass right out of that fucker. Right there. Just the property that's a half an acre on a fucking freshwater canal is $170,000, you asshole. My property costs more than your fucking house did, probably. This canal is the only one of the 2 freshwater canals we have left in Port Charlotte. So if I absolutely had to filter water out of that, I could. I have a clean water source right there that I could filter water out of. You know? I mean, I'm a fucking pat rack. I don't throw shit away. You know? These are from jobs. This is just all shit from jobs that I fucking, gathered up. And so, yeah, I work fucking hard. And that doesn't include, the buckets full of tools I got in the back of my fucking truck here. Concrete tools laying around. The difference is I go make as much in one day as you probably make in a fucking month or a week. I go paint a house and do some fucking skim coat work on it, and I just made $5,500. If I don't want to work for 2 or 3 days, I don't have to. I can get out here and I can stand up for my community. You know what I mean? I don't have to go punch a time clock. I go to work and I get off work when I want to. I do all my work to the best of my ability as well. So that's why I work under the handyman license when it comes to fixing stuff. And I tell people flat out, if you want a professional to do it, like if I'm going to paint your house and you want a professional painting contractor to do it, then hire a professional painting contractor. But I'll build you a house from the ground up, from clearing the property to pouring the foundation and fucking setting up the forms and putting the rebar in to fucking building it all the way up with the columns, whether you want your house built out of center block or do the framing work. I can do all that for you. That's good for you, man. I don't aspire to make those jobs that big. I work by myself. Every once in a while, I'll hire 2 or 3 kids that need a job to help me, and I pay them the best I can. But I don't want to have to worry about workman's comp anymore. I don't want to have to worry about having 2 or 3 trucks on the road. I make plenty of money to survive. If I make $5,000 a month, I can survive beautifully off $5,000 a month. I can build one right now if I wanted to. You know how it's minimum in the state of Florida from pre-construction to final inspection, it takes anywhere from 12 to 24 months just to get all the work and the inspections done. And we're talking $400,000 to build a decent house in Florida. So I'm in the process of selling this property and 2 of my other properties. And there's a 140-acre farm that's up for finance right now off of 31 out going towards Arcadia, and I'm trying to get that. I applied for the finance for it last week. So if we can get that 140-acre already functioning farm, but the Verners have died out. There's only the son and daughter left. They own all of the land on 17 from Port Charlotte all the way to fucking Fort Myers and Arcadia. Those are the Verners, and I'm trying to buy 140 acres from them right now. If we can get that, we're going to start setting up a community out there. We'll get food growing. We'll be able to send out fresh food to people and stuff like that. We'll get water collection going where we can get real fresh water that's filtered through the source as well, and probably a Sawyer filter or something like that. I used to teach survivalist courses. You ain't gonna teach me nothing about living off the land. I went and did the Alaskan March with my brother when I was like 12. I've lived in the woods in Tennessee as a survivalist for a long time. I would prefer to live like that. And so why don't I go live like that then, right? Because I haven't chosen to. That's why I did live like that for a few years. In Pikeville, Tennessee, there was a population of 850 people in the entire town. It was a family called the Swaffers and the Angels. It was like an old school fucking Western movie. They literally owned one side of 41, because 41 goes all the way through America, you know that, right? All the way up north. They literally owned one side of 41 in that town in Tennessee was owned by the Swaffords, and then the whole other side was owned by the Angels, and they were always feuding with each other. The second week I lived in that town, a meth lab in the upstairs of the sheriff's department fucking blew up. All they have is a Save-A-Lot, a co-op, and a McDonald's in the entire town. That's the whole fucking town. And it's right in the middle of a bowl of the mountains. It was a crazy little fucking hick town, man. And just you'd hear people having, there's a place out there looking up, it's called Luminary Mountain. It's still rural land, the government can't go on it. You hear people out there having shootouts and machine guns and shit every weekend. It was fucking nuts, dude. It was fucking nuts. It's right off the Trail of Tears in Tennessee. That was a crazy little town. You want to talk about hillbillies? Them boys were fucking hillbillies. Couldn't understand a word coming out of their mouth. They were all moonshiners and pot growers. It was a fun time. I'm not going to lie. They got something called the 41 yard cell. If you don't know what that is, it reaches across like 5 states. It's just a big, massive fucking yard cell. We used to travel those with the bluegrass bands and shit. I worked at the Renaissance Festival for quite some time when I was a young teenager. I ran away from the foster homes. I started in Arizona and worked my way all the way back down to Florida with that. That's how I learned to do metallurgy. That's how I learned to make knives and shit. It was a fun ride, though. I had a fun ride growing up. I might have had a fucked up life, but I had fun. I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of fun. Having crazy biological parents that zip in and out of your life between foster families was weird, but we had a lot of fun when they did zip in. And a lot of bad times. They were horrible people. I'm not gonna lie. They did horrible things to us, so it's all right. I don't blame that on my life. I don't blame any of you people on my life, but you did. I mean, it was your attacks that caused me to be in this situation, so that much. I'm not going to leave you totally blameless. I chose to make myself a target that got me those attacks, but you chose to make those attacks on me. What's a cotton ball with meth? What does that mean? Someone tell me what that means. I don't know what that means. What's a cotton ball and meth have anything to do with each other? Lots of those. I don't drink. I haven't drank in many, many years, but my parents were avid alcoholics and lived at the bar scene. My grandma was such an alcoholic, she couldn't get a license in 28 states. But she still drove every day of her life. And she had white walls, even though she never paid for white walls. I've never done cocaine. I don't know. I've tried drugs, but I've never done cocaine before, so I don't know how good of a drug that is. What do you mean, how was I attacked? Is this your first time on my channel, obviously? Clearly? I'll tell you what, on tonight's live, we'll put all that together, and I'll pull up the pictures and stuff, and videos and stuff, so you can see what's happened to me. Sound like a good plan? Because I'll be live again tonight at 7:30, 8 o'clock. So we will put it together. But long story short, we'll start with the worst of it, because it didn't start off horrible. It started off with like slashed tires and shit like that. What you have to understand about me first is I'm the big Trump store guy from Port Charlotte, Florida. There were 2 Trump stores here. Mine was the one up in Murdoch Circle, the big Trump store that everybody went to, and we had all the big rallies and the boat rallies and all of that stuff at. And understand that I campaigned for Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump on the Republican Executive Committee team and on the Ron DeSantis team. Okay, and then I started speaking at school board meetings and county meetings and started going after pedophiles and pulling pornographic books out of schools. That was my first social media channel. That was my first time in politics, my first time on social media. Okay, cancel culture kicked in. Once cancel culture kicked in, the vandalism started because George Floyd thing happened. Okay, so because I had Donald Trump on my truck, because I own the Trump store, first they started off by slicing my tires. Then the second thing they did to me, I was on a job site and someone was driving by, and I guess they didn't like Trump because I heard fuck Trump and then I heard glass shatter. They threw rocks through my windows, busted out those 2 windows that aren't there anymore. Then the next thing they did to me was in the middle of the night, while my truck was parked here and I was down the road at the house that they caught on fire, they drilled into my rear differential for the rear end of my truck and shoved a golf club inside of it. When I took off, it blew my rear end out. My truck was down for a while after that happened. I drove my Jeep, and then after that, they we got the RV after Hurricane Ian, if you remember. That big, nice RV that I financed. We were sleeping in it one night, and somebody threw a flaming something through the window, and all the Trump flags that were in there made out of nylon caught fire and went up like napalm. And that's why my dog's got that big burn bubble on her head, because I was throwing her out the window when they caught my RV on fire, and a piece of melted plastic fell on her head. And it burnt her so bad that it went through her 3 layers of husky hair. Then they started cutting my brake lines once that didn't work. 19 times at this point, my brake lines have been cut. Thank God I drive an old truck and I don't mind hitting shit. Okay, so I can keep going on. There's been many other things. The worst part of it, though, is what we're getting in here, too. You would think the RV was the worst part, right? You would think them stealing my trailer with my 2 brand new X-Mark $11,000 a piece lawnmowers, Radius series, and hauling ass with that would have been the worst part, but it wasn't. The worst part was when I went to the pro-Palestine rally in Sarasota a year and a half ago, and I got shot 3 times with a .22 pistol. I got shot in the head, through the hand, and in the ankle. The pictures are all in my posts for references. So it's been a wild ride. Altogether, I would probably say I've had 200,000-300,000 death threats altogether through all of it. I get hundreds of phone calls a day from private numbers threatening me. I get private numbers that text message me. I'll go through and post some more of those tonight. Like I said, I'm going to start posting what these leftists actually do to us, since nobody wants to put it out there on the forefront. But we've gone far past all of that. You know what I mean? We've gone far past not showing, well, don't mind being a hillbilly or red. I'm a redneck, not a hillbilly. There's a difference. But yeah, I don't live in the mountains and drink moonshine. I can just work on all my own shit and fucking use common sense to build things and put stuff together. You know? So that's the difference between a redneck and a hillbilly. Hillbillies are good people, though. Hillbillies are them Pikeville people I was talking about. They got beards down to here and they drink fucking moonshine. They pray before they eat dinner. Yeah, but the left is exactly. That's what I keep saying. That's why I keep saying we're going to have to start peacefully protesting them. You know what I mean? So we can be politically correct with the terms. So every time they come to one of your rallies, you're going to have to peacefully protest them the way they do you. You know, since they set the definitions for things, that's all we're going under. Everything we're doing is something you left set the precedent for under Biden right now. You know, the difference is like I say before, all of our stuff is under the law and the Constitution. You had to change your actual state constitutions to prosecute Trump. You had to actually change state laws to prosecute Trump. So, well, then go away. You've been saying this is boring as fuck for 3 hours and 18 minutes, King the Chill. If it's so boring, why you been here the whole time? You've been steadily making comments up in my shit. You're still not near number 1, though. We got Paul's always up there at the top. Ozzy Crosby is the only one beating Paul today. So Paul and Ozzy Crosby are my 2 biggest fans, my 2 biggest supporters right now. And then we got at XIV Jaco B24 and number 3 with 200 XP. Hey, damn, Ozzy Crosby, you got 700 XP on my channel right now. That's the most anybody's ever gotten on a top fan badge. So, nice. Absolutely. And I proved that when I went to the Antifa rally last weekend, and your so-called regular Democrats surrounded me with metal poles to attack me. And when I got ready to draw my fucking weapon and told them I would kill every one of them in the streets, they immediately they went from attacking me to being professional fucking pussies. Right there on the spot. Professional victims. Their pussy was so fat, you could see that motherfucker from outer space, bro. Immediately. And I'm like, dude, there's 10 of you surrounding me by myself right now. And Kara got real shitty with him. I was so fucking proud of her. I was laughing so hard. That's the first time ever in her life she's gotten shitty with someone like that. She was growling at him and barking at him. I was so proud of my baby girl. Normally, I just push her off the side and tell her to sit because she doesn't care about the conflict. But even she knows you're evil. And she's the nicest dog on the fucking planet. If she attacks you, you're a horrible fucking human being. Because if you live in Port Charlotte, Florida, you know Princess Kiera, and you know she's the best dog you'll ever meet. She loves everybody. So if she's willing to go after you, you are a horrible individual. But I love you guys. I'm going to actually eat something before we jump back on here. This is the longest live I've done in 5 years. We're 3 hours and 20 minutes in right now, guys. Who's the halfwit? The one that has the channel that right now has 38,000 views on the live that they're doing and has made money speaking, or the one that's making nothing and has no channel and doesn't have any supporters behind them that's on my channel and my chats? You know what I mean? I've been sitting here talking to you for 3 hours. How am I high? You know, I've been literally sitting here talking to you for 3 hours and 21 minutes. What drug on the planet lasts for 3 hours and 21? Is there drugs that last more than 3 hours? You'd be poor if you were my dealer, buddy. You wouldn't have any money. The most I do that's a drug is smoke some pot every once in a while, and I have my medical card, and I go to the dispensary to get that, and I don't even do that very often. Isn't it funny, though, that they cry and they complain and they bitch and they moan about people talking bad about mental illness, but then all they do is that's projection. That's what projection is. Because they'll bitch and they'll moan and they'll complain and they'll try to sue you for talking about their mental illness, and then they're like calling you a junkie and a drug addict when they're the ones that are standing up for actual junkies and drug addicts, and we're trying to get them prosecuted and put in prison for the rest of their fucking life. It's fucking weird, right? That's the power of projection. You know, the power of projection is strong in these. Do or do not. There is no try. Look, if they could get me off of the course, I would be long off of this course by now. I would no longer be on the trail. I'd be in the middle of the woods and I'd be fucking lost if I wasn't going to stay the course. If I wasn't going to stay the course when they first started attacking my shit, I would have never let it get this far. You know what I mean? I'd have never let it get this far. And it's clearly obvious it's going to get much, much worse. It already is. I mean, since Charlie Kirk, it's gotten way worse. There's been more shootings in these last 3.5 weeks than the past 5 fucking years, bro. All by leftists. Every single one of them is leftist or trans violence. Every single fucking one. So that's why we have no sympathy for you people when we see these officers dragging you across the asphalt now. Did you see the guy that refused to walk, so they're just like got him hanging half off of a fucking dolly cart, fucking wheeling him down the road? That shit's hilarious, bro. That gives me really good something to watch at night. And they're out there 24 hours a day right now. They're out there from morning till night, you know, and just new people show up. It's almost like they have shifts that they get paid for, right? Anyway, I'm going to say it again. I love you guys. Be blessed. I'm amazed that we've been live for 3 hours and 40 minutes, and my phone has not died. I'm plugging it in right now. I still have 16% power on my phone. Man, that's a good battery, isn't it? What does vets have anything to do with the MAGA fucking movement? Nothing. Just because you're a vet doesn't mean you're a Republican, buddy. You see, that's the problem with you people. That's the fucking problem with you people. If somebody doesn't think like you, you don't think that they're allowed to be here. That's crazy, man. That's absolute insane. If that were the case, if we truly were fascist and we thought like that, you just wouldn't be here, because we're not little babies like you. We know how to use the things that we have. We know how to do these things quietly and efficiently. Nobody would ever know. In the middle of the night, black bag, boom, done. You know what I mean? If we were true fascists, you just wouldn't be here one day. You wouldn't see it on the news. You wouldn't hear about it anywhere. You literally just would not be here anymore. You know what I mean? It's that easy for our side. Listen, if you serve this country, that doesn't make you a hero. There's plenty of bad people that have served this fucking country, guys. Okay? It's our combat wounded veterans that actually fought for this country that are the heroes of this country. Do you understand? And we far outweigh the good operator. There's not one fucking actual operator on this planet that backs your side. I guarantee it. And definitely not one. All these old veterans that keep saying, oh, we'll do that. You won't do shit, motherfucker, because you haven't been in combat shape for 47 years. You'll do nothing. Nothing. You'll pretend like you were in Vietnam 45, 50 years ago. That's what you'll do. You won't. If you're not in combat shape, you're not going to be combat ready. That's a fact of the matter. Okay, I'm 43 fucking years old, and I might look, you just cut my head off, and you lose the bad part. You know what I mean? The rest of me is fucking chiseled like a stone. So, I've never fought for, you're the ones fighting for the big government right now. You're the ones fighting for socialism. You're the ones fighting for communism. We're fighting for things to go back to the states, not for the government to be involved. We don't think Big Daddy government needs to be involved at all. We don't want the government involved. Most of us don't agree with what's happening right now. And I've made that very clear numerous fucking times. There's no way, shape, or form that we should be fucking federalizing our states until we fix the corruption of the cops that won't do their job, and we fix the corruption of the politicians. Otherwise, we're not accomplishing anything. What are we accomplishing? Permanent military on the streets, which is against all the traditions and values of America? Absolutely. This isn't a land of liberty. That's why the Statue of Liberty was not allowed on American soil, because we're the land of freedom, not the land of liberty. Liberty is a maritime thing from the military, from the Navy. They would give you liberty, which was what leave was called back in the day. So you had the liberty to go do things. Liberty is one thing. We're a land of freedom, though. We have the freedom and the God-given inalienable rights that were given to us at birth as citizens of the country. Constitutional rights don't mean human rights. You understand there's two completely different things, right? You have the Bill of Rights and you have the Constitution. They're not the same document. You do get that, right? That the law of the land and human rights are two different things. You do understand that the Bill of Rights is one thing and the Constitution's another thing. And then the writings of independence are a whole completely different thing altogether. And then the amendments to the Constitution are something completely different too. Those are all separate things, just like due process and habeas process are separate things. Okay, due process is whatever the due process under that law is. Habeas process is you get habeas corpus rights, which means you go to court. Okay, that's just the Bucks, bro. I don't like football at all, but the Bucks, if I did go for football. We got one. Shut up. Before you even make your comment. We got one, damn it. Fuck. We got one. Have a good day, guys. Be blessed. For those of you that stuck around the whole time, thank you. The channel's getting bigger and bigger every day, guys. Be safe. Oh, man, that was a long one.